Hey yo, welcome to the show. I am your lovable host, Harry. To the left of me is that way is Tyson.
Let me talk to you. You don't have to point.
I did,
It's
so I
gonna
had to correct it.
when you point, there's a mirror.
I
So
get that. Now I get.
touch my tip.
Don't.
Touch the tip. Let's
Oh,
touch tips. No, you gotta go the other way. Other
the
hand.
other way. Oh, son of a bitch. We're so gay.
Touch that tip. There
Oh
we
yeah.
go. We touch
Oh yeah.
tips.
That's good shit. And I'm on a delay. Anyway, how was your week?
Pretty good week. I watched a lot of wrestling as usual, as
Yeah,
we do this thing, But
a
aside from
lot
that,
of wrestling.
yeah, there was a eclipse thing that I got to enjoy. Did you see it?
No, I was working, but I did see the darkness.
Well, if I'm being honest, I didn't get to see shit. It was so cloudy. Let me it was so cloudy, and there was like a peak of a peak. So, but I was out there.
Well, that's half the battle, isn't it?
People were cheering. I'm like, what are you cheering over, you idiots? We can't see shit.
They were cheering the cheering the eclipse.
Yeah, it's an exciting moment in history. There's not going to be another one for like 40 years.
Yeah, I got YouTube.
NASA was popping off. They had like 1 million viewers live stream.
Who's NASA?
The space company.
Oh, NASA.
That's what I said.
Oh, it sounded like you said NASA.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not. NASA and NASA are two different things.
Well, I say NASA.
Well, you say it
Hey,
wrong.
that's how the real people say it.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments. NASA or Nassau? Spell it out. It's it's like
No, it's NASA. NASA.
every time I hear someone say it, they say Nassau.
No, you don't.
Welcome to the Nassau Coliseum.
That's not. That's NASA. That's different than NASA.
It's the same thing.
No,
The
it's
logo's the
not.
same.
NASA, NASA is an anachronism for some space shit. NASA is NASA.
It's all the same.
It is not the same.
Oh man.
Anyway, you want to finish WrestleMania?
Let's finish the story.
Let's
And
finish the story.
we're going
Well,
to night 2 of WrestleMania.
night 2, and Cole tells us that no one has seen Cody all day. He's been locked in his bus, preparing for his final battle against Roman Reigns. Damage Control and Bailey arrive. Meek Mill also rapped. And thankfully, they did like the only song of his that I know. I can't tell you the name of it, but he did know it. And my only issue with the hype videos is they didn't give you like a general idea of what's going on, like they did in the older pay-per-views. They just did like highlights and cool moments. And if you obviously we have been watching it, so we know what's going on. But if I was a casual viewer just tuning into WrestleMania, I don't know if I'd know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I paid attention that close to it.
No, just a little
Like
nitpick.
from that aspect of, if I didn't know, would this clue me in enough?
I just noticed that especially like the WCW pay-per-views, that they at least give you, they don't tell you start to finish what happened, but at least they tell you at least why these two people are pissed off at each other and why they're fighting.
That's true. They did it for the main event. Maybe not the.
They did a hype video as the night went on. And obviously the night was built around Roman and Cody. But I'm talking about this initial video
Mm-hmm.
with Meek Mill and stuff. I don't think that it really, I don't know, painted a picture.
They did another hype video. It was on, I think it was on the YouTube.
Well, why the fuck would I watch YouTube when I'm watching WrestleMania?
Well,
Do I
I
want to
don't
watch?
know.
Am I watching WrestleMania or am I watching YouTube?
Hold on, I was just gonna say that not for the pieces of the story. They did a hype package. By the way, everybody, I'm drinking coffee. Is what's in this cup. I just wanted to. I felt I needed to say that. They did a hype package and they did it with NF, and I think that one was pretty good too.
NF.
Yeah, Eminem Light.
Yeah, I know who that is. He's a Christian, even though he's not Christian. Eminem.
Oh,
He doesn't curse, so he gets labeled as a Christian rapper, even though he's not.
yeah, he doesn't sing Christian songs.
No, he doesn't. He sings actually pretty deep shit. But because he doesn't curse, he gets painted with that brush. They just assume. He doesn't say bitch and smacking hoes and smoking fatties. Talking about
He
how
says
many kids
deeper
he
stuff.
doesn't raise. Yeah. Like he had a song about his mom dying of an overdose or some shit. You can
Mm-hmm.
hear him crying in the studio and it's supposed to be deep.
What
Anyway,
song was that?
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So some outrageously fat man wearing a vest and nothing underneath sang God Bless America with a lady wearing a couch.
I think it was Warren Treaty was the they've been around before.
Oh, I know. I just know that fat man was wearing a vest with nothing underneath. So you could see his folds and his jiggles.
Well, more power to him. He's comfortable.
He's ridiculous. So Stephanie McMahon made an appearance. That was a surprise, since, her last name. She
And because
walks
she quit.
out. What's that?
Oh, sorry. And because she quit.
Well, she resigned. She was kind of forced out. Well, not forced out, but she kind of saw the writing on the wall with the sale to UFC and shit. She knew she wasn't going to have as big of a role. And Stephanie tells us that she's proud to kick off the Triple H era because they're moving as far away from Vince as they possibly can. Dumb son of a bitch. Stephanie does the Are You Ready? And night 2 is underway. And I thought it was a nice little symbolic gesture of having a McMahon handing the torch to Triple H. And I wonder if they planned on having Vince do that all along. But, since he stopped paying his hooker, they can't do that now.
I saw a thing. I don't know if it was real or not. But there was this report that kind of lightly went around that Vince was trying to get into the building and they didn't let him in.
That's funny.
Yeah, his trainer, he went on this like rant on Twitter. He's like, "Oh, just remember, if there was no WrestleMania, there would be. I'm sorry, if there's no Vince, there'd be no WrestleMania." And it's funny that all the people who say they love you and then they're the first one to turn their backs on you. It's similar to the whole Britney Spears. You lucky she performs for you bastards.
Just leave her alone. I think it'd be funny if they had Punk send Vince away. Oh, I'm sorry, Vince, but got a call from upstairs. Can't have you here. Because remember he called Triple H to tell him to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's karma. God damn. Vince, you dumb son of a bitch.
I know. Stop liking P. Or no, that's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, stop liking hookers.
Just pay her. That's what all you need to
Right?
do. None of this
You're a
happens if you pay her.
billionaire.
Yeah,
All
why are you
this,
nickel and diming people?
yeah. All this could have been avoided. You'd be sitting in your little desk right now if you had just wrote that fucking check. You're telling
I
me you could
mean,
pay Sable, but you can't pay this bitch?
at this point, it was probably just like he didn't want to pay her because he thought he can get away with not paying her.
Well, clearly.
Yeah, it wasn't about the money; it was about the power.
Well, we have Rollins versus McIntyre. That's for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this was perfect, perfect, perfect. In every sense of the word. So McIntyre comes out. Well, first, CM Punk comes out because, he's on commentary. And then McIntyre comes out, and he comes out to Piper's music. Punk says that that's sacrilege. Rollins comes out, of course, dressed like his wife. And the match starts. McIntyre immediately hits a Claymore. And you think that, like, holy shit, he did it. They did Seth like this. Then, he kicks out. And then basically it turned into like the Brock Lesnar formula where it was just big move after big move, mostly finishers. It was the moments. And
McIntyre was just throwing his haymakers. He's like, this,
yeah,
this is
exactly.
over.
Like he was just going for that knockout punch and Seth wouldn't get knocked out.
Yeah.
And Seth he hit like 3 or 4 curb stomps. And it was more like Hail Marys instead of knockout punches. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
So then they fight outside. Rollins hits a couple, or he gets hit with an awful belly to belly suplex. It just, I just feel like my whole body just vibrate from that impact. I can only imagine. And then McIntyre stops to tweet. He legitimately tweet like another bored day at the office or something. That got a lot of
from
buzz.
his wife's phone.
Was it his wife's phone?
Yeah. Or maybe it wasn't her phone, but she handed him the phone. That was his wife. I was just saying, maybe remember Sammy's wife. This is the wife you fight for.
Right. Well, McIntyre starts taunting Punk, and then it fucks him. And then after missing their finishers a couple times, McIntyre finally hits a Future Shock DDT, and that's for 2. And then you can see the honest to God panic and frustration just creep over McIntyre because he can't put this cross-dressing motherfucker down. I mean, you just see it in his eyes. He's just like, come on.
Yeah, he felt it slipping away.
Right. So then McIntyre teased a GTS to fuck with Punk, and it failed. And then McIntyre gets even more pissed when he failed another Claymore. And then he goes to the announce desk, and Punk loudly says that McIntyre is getting scared because he can't get it done, and now he has to use furniture. And then McIntyre ends up getting stomped on the announce table, and it's probably not as impressive as they imagined. I would think that they thought he was going to crash through it. I would hope.
I don't know. Maybe it was better because it didn't break. So it's like, more impactful. I don't know.
So after the stomp, Punk did that classic, well, you can't pin him on the floor. You got to get him in the ring, which I thought was great. And McIntyre finally hits another Claymore, and it's 1, 2, 3. And he finally did it.
We have a new heavyweight champion, I think.
Well, what was great was he hit him with 2 claymores. Because he hit him with the one and he kicked out, and then the second one, Rollins just stares at him and goes, "You're gonna have to kill me," and boom. So it's kind of like Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
So
Except
then
for this
finally,
one, it was like he didn't. Shawn Michaels was hesitant. Drew McIntyre was not.
right? Well, because Ric Flair had respect. Well, not respect's not the right word, because I think McIntyre respects Rollins. I don't know. They were friends,
The killer instinct.
right? So finally, McIntyre has his moment in front of a live crowd, and Rollins cried like a bitch, telling the guy who taunted him for weeks that he deserved it. Good riddance. McIntyre goes to his family, then he celebrates, and then he sets his sight on CM Punk. Tells Cole and McAfee to leave the area. Then he crawls on the announce table like a stripper. Like, honestly, looked like he was going to give Punk a lap dance. Like, oh, I'm the champion. McIntyre starts talking shit. Like, I want you to know that everything I said I meant. And Punk's like, I can't fucking hear you. Got headphones on. McIntyre tells Punk to stay where he is because if he gets back in the ring, he's going to end his career. And he kneels in front of Punk's face with the belt and he tells the cameraman to get a good shot. I want to have this on my wall. And then Punk says he's never won a title and heard the crowd chant another man's name. I wasn't sure if they were chanting Punk or not. I couldn't really hear. I don't care, though. It was a good line. McIntyre does the suck it sign to Punk, and then he turns his back. And the second he turns his back, Punk gets up, sweeps McIntyre's legs out from under him, and just starts beating the shit out of him. And then Punk does the old school thing where he takes his cast off very slowly, and he bashes McIntyre in the face with it. And then Punk blows a kiss to McIntyre's family, and all of a sudden, Judgment Day music hits, and out comes Damian Priest. Punk gets on the announce desk like he's seen a mouse. Priest nails McIntyre with the briefcase, throws him into the ring, hits him with, what is it, South of Heaven?
Yep, South of Heaven choke slam.
And he gets 1, 2, 3. And the best part of the whole thing, and I as much as I shit on her, Samantha Irvin. Because the genuine excitement in her voice just made that moment so great. Like, you can actually, like, she was screaming. You could see, like, it almost seemed like she was about to cry. It was a good moment.
I guess she's happy for him.
Yeah, exactly. And the Judgment Day, they have a cool moment. And McIntyre starts to realize what happened. And he's devastated. Then he turns to CM Punk, who's cross-legged on the Spanish announce desk, just applauding, happier than a pig in shit. And it was at that moment I texted you and I told you that this feud is going to be biblical.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a fantastic match. I wish they didn't have to kill their finishers. I hated how McIntyre sold the announce desk curb stomp. I don't know why. I can't remember. It's really good. Oh, because he got curb stomped, and then he went into the ring, and then it's like he magically got better because he claymored Rollins. So it's like the curb stomp didn't do anything. And it's like you got the curb stomp's a protective move to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So you got curb stomped on the announce desk.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
But I mean, that's just a little nitpick. So fucking good though. And CM Punk versus McIntyre is just going to be, oh, my nipples are hard just thinking about it. Oh,
Yeah,
my
I
nipples.
liked
Oh,
I liked everything about the match, or I wouldn't say the match per se, um, but everything that like everything around it. So the fact that McIntyre got his win, like that, they told the story. So it's a funny thing. I was watching it with the roommate's kid,
mm-hmm.
and he said before the match started, he said, "Oh, this is the first time the world heavyweight championship has been defended since Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, whatever year that was." Yes, he said all that. And I said, "Oh yeah, the match that ended in 18 seconds." And then the bell rings and we get a Claymore kick. I was like, "They're doing it again." So that was funny.
Right.
And then yeah, after the match, everything about that, McIntyre, all you had to do, McIntyre, was leave. And you still be
Right.
champion right now. But you had to go and taunt CM Punk. And even CM Punk, he was being patient. He's like, "Look, you won. Congratulations. Go celebrate with your family. I can't even hear you right now. Like, just go." But he kept going. He kept going. He kept going. Punk was just being patient and patient. And then finally, it went too far. And, the little caveat that it was the second he turned around. But yeah, I loved everything about it. We'll see what happens with Priest and being champion, but everything else aside from that, loved
Yeah.
everything about it, and it furthers the feud.
Yeah. I'm not sure about Priest being champion. I'm glad he cashed it in on the title belt though. So the Money in the Bank doesn't just become a joke.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, good for him. He had to do something with it. And if it furthers Punk and McIntyre, cool.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The little story about the fact that McIntyre was so obsessed. Well, he was calling out Seth Rollins for being so obsessed with the Bloodline thing, and then ultimately it was his own obsession with CM Punk that caused him to lose the title.
Exactly. Good
That's how you,
storytelling.
yeah, that's how you build stories. And then I would say he's probably, because they are going to Scotland, so he'll probably have the title back by then. CM Punk will be back. I don't know if Punk is cleared now since he took the brace off. Well, I guess he's closer to being cleared.
I don't know what he is. I don't know. He likes to keep things ambiguous.
Yeah.
Because he alluded that he's better than he is, but he's also said that they're protecting him from himself. So I think he's just kind of he's keeping it alive, man. He's not letting us know really how severe or insevere his injury is.
Yeah, which is good. Keep us
That's a
guessing.
good thing. Absolutely. So moving on, they announced a Cody Rock Roman behind the curtain video on YouTube, and I wrote at the time that we'll see if I've watched it, and I haven't. I did see a Cody video that was an hour long on the YouTube channel, and I'm like, I've dedicated so much time to this story. I can't. I can't. So, did you happen to catch that?
I didn't.
Okay,
I
cool.
actually forgot it was. I remember seeing that, but I forgot that it was coming out on Wednesday. So I'm gonna have to circle back and watch it
All right.
tomorrow or something.
Well, Rock Roman and the Bloodline are filmed walking to the arena, and it's just two big Samoans with their titles.
Sure is.
All right, Lashley versus Karrion Kross. Snoop Dogg was the special guest commentator. I don't know how that follows CM Punk. I don't know if they thought about that. And then Bubba Ray Dudley came out as the special referee. And the Holes had a moment, just like I said they would. And Lashley's team won. And then Snoop Dogg celebrates with them because, you know.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Nope.
Yeah, it was a fun match for what it was, I guess. I mean, I'll stand by that it should have been a SmackDown match, but they wanted to get it on WrestleMania, so there we go. There were some fun moments. It was a little nostalgia seeing the weather and the get the tables from Bubba Ray. Although he caught a lot of shit on that online. Oh, I don't ever want to hear you talk about being a shill or something, because I guess he calls out AEW shills, and here he is working for WWE. So uh, there's that.
Okay. What?
Because he has that radio show,
Right.
so you can't be picking sides. You have to call it right down the middle, both companies. But now they call him a AEW hater, and then to see him on WWE TV.
Is he critical to WWE?
I don't know. I don't watch him that much.
Oh. Well, there you go.
But yeah, it was. Oh, but it might be back in on Karrion Kross. Like, he's got the mustache, the jacket. It's looking pretty cool. Looks legit. He's showing character.
You're full of shit.
No.
Yeah.
I might be back on it, on the Cross train.
You're going off of the fucking rails then.
Well, let's see how they book it.
You're on
if he keeps
you're on
losing,
a train on the track that has on the cliff that just ends, and it's like, oh, we gotta stop the train. We gotta stop it, and it doesn't. You just
No. We'll see where it goes. We will see where it goes. Let's look at some. They announced the draft, so maybe they go to Raw.
Oh boy. Which
Start picking up some.
They have Jade on both shows, so they already showed that they're not going to give a shit. They're going to continue the long-standing tradition of not giving a shit of who is drafted to what show.
Well, we have a Jade, so they don't care. It's like she's above the rules.
Fair enough. Or anything else on Lashley and Cross?
Not really. I said as much as I could.
There you go. Paul Heyman interview. And before that, we get a Roman Cody video package. Well done. Lady asks what the Bloodline rules are, even though we've seen so many Bloodline rules matches by this point. Heyman says the rules are whatever they say they are. And it's basically until one man is announced the Universal Undisputed Champion and the other man goes home to his wife, Brandy. Tonight, Roman reigns and the Bloodline rules.
So, little correction. We've only seen one Bloodline rules match, and that was on Monday.
No, we saw another one.
Those were tribal combat.
I swear we've seen a Bloodline rules match.
Yeah, those were tribal combat, and then
okay, all right.
That's what the online brigade said. So
okay, I stand corrected then. I'm too lazy to fucking fact check it. I just feel like we've seen it. It's a fucking no DQ match. The stupid bitch knows what it is.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I don't care enough to fact check it all. I'll just take them at their word.
Okay.
But either way, we knew it was just like a hardcore match.
So I'm not the only one that caught that, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
My thing
There
was
you go.
like, yeah, we just seen on Friday or Monday, whatever that was.
Well, yeah, either
Monday.
way.
We just seen what the rules were or what it was.
Either way, she was on the show. She knows what a Bloodline rules match is. It's a dumb question. So LA Knight versus AJ Styles was next. Knight arrived in a Slim Jim car to give it away to a fan, which he did.
That fan seemed like they didn't even know what the hell was happening.
She didn't give a shit at all. She was probably drunk. Either that or they staged it.
Well, she didn't. It's like, yeah, he was handing her the keys, and she's like,
Oh, thank you. I
like, oh,
appreciate it. It's just a
yeah,
car. Get one of these every day.
yeah, we win one every month.
Yeah, that's why I think it was staged, because they must have like worked it out with her beforehand. So this is pretty straightforward. They got their highlights in. Honestly, I kind of felt like this was a SmackDown match until they told the story with Knight's leg. And I thought Styles took a hell of a fall on the ropes when he got cut off on the phenomenal forearm. And Knight won with the BFT, of course. And yeah, it's pretty solid. Nothing special considering that they went to the home invasion angle.
Yeah,
I think Styles is a better heel for sure. But yeah, nothing really to write home to mom about.
yeah. My only thing was how over LA Knight was.
Yeah, he's still over.
Yeah,
Not that that's a bad thing or surprising.
it's not, but it's still just nice to see.
Right.
Like all they've done to him, and he's still over. So I guess he's been kind of protected.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really done anything to him. He's just kind of taken. He's right here. CM Punk and Randy Orton come in, so he kind of has to
Yeah,
go down a notch
for now. We'll see what happens
for now.
on
Yeah.
Friday.
Well, then they announced the King of the Ring is going to be in May. It's also going to be in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
It's cool that we're getting the King of the Ring, though.
Yeah, the King of the Ring, and then we also have Backlash in May. So 2 pay-per-views in May.
Is the King of the Ring going to be a pay-per-view? They kind of made it seem like it was going to be like a live event.
I think so.
Okay. They did a showcase of the Hall of Fame inductees. Barry Windham sure looked different. And
he looks like Trace Atkins.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. Wyndham and IRS were both showing off Bray Wyatt shirts, and I thought IRS looked just very heartbreaking and small and sad. Thunderbolt Patterson was there, not looking like he gave 2 shits. And he looked a lot like Ernie Ladd to me for some reason.
Okay.
And Bull Nakano looked really good. She looked like a grown-up Kairi Sane.
Yeah, I was like, man, she doesn't look that old.
Yeah, I'd smash the shit out of that, yeah.
she might be able to get it.
Rock's grandma was next. Now, according to Jim Cornette, her having a Hall of Fame career is a little suspect. But whatever. Muhammad Ali was inducted as well. I thought he was in the Hall of Fame. I don't know how he's in there before, or how Arnold Schwarzenegger's in there before him.
Yeah, I thought he was in there too, but better late than never, I guess.
And then Paul Heyman, he had a moment with his ECW music. And did you see the clip where he told everybody to suck his dick?
Oh yeah, he did that at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, good shit.
I forgot to mention that part. I was more worried about the mentioning of Brock Lesnar than his dick.
That's fair, I guess. in hindsight. So we get Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, and this is for the U.S. title. And Logan Paul came out with someone dressed as a stupid Prime bottle, so you know that they're going to get in the match at some point. And before the match, little bitch ass Sami Zayn told Kevin Owens it's his turn now. And Owens comes to the ring in a golf cart. Orton drives to the ring in the golf cart with Owens. I wrote fuck this because it was stupid. You know what? This was actually fairly entertaining, though, for a triple threat match. I like how Owens and Orton basically played horse with Paul's lifeless body. They were they were one-upping each other. And then the lead up. What's that?
I said they were doing really good on the team up part.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. And then the lead up to Owens and Orton finally going at it was great, too, because they're like, oh, do you want to do this now? No, let's wait. And then Orton tried to surprise him with that RKO. And it didn't work. And the crowd chants, you fucked up. Orton just slowly turns around. And Owens is like, okay, I guess we're doing this now. They did it. And Paul hit a swanton on Owens from the top rope. And then he rolled and hit a frog splash onto Orton. And that was fucking awesome. And Logan Paul outpunches Orton, and he gets booed massively. Owens gets RKO'd, but kicks out, of course. And then Owens rolled out of the ring. Paul hits Orton with his brass knuckles for 2. So that means Orton withstood the brass knuckles from a boxer.
Yeah, that was a little surprising. I don't know why that happened.
Because Paul had to use something else from his arsenal.
I know, but I don't know. Maybe Kevin Owens could have broke it up or something, but just having a kick out, that's like, I mean, you just got hit with brass knuckles and you're kicking out.
Well, yeah, think about it. Logan Paul has used those brass knuckles to not only defend his title, but that's how he won his title. And one more time, he hits veteran Randy Orton square in the jaw with it. And Orton kicks out. So now Logan Paul, he's got to find something else to beat him with. Logan Paul's a gutsy babyface. So Owens gets RKO'd. Wait, hold on. Paul also hits Owens with the brass knuckles, and I thought that was it for him. It sure looked like it. Paul tries to hit Orton again, but then he eats an RKO. And Orton ends up getting the brass knuckles, but slowly hands them to the ref. And then he signals for a punt. The stupid Prime bottle then gets involved. And it barks at Orton, says fuck a bunch of times, and Orton RKOs it on the announce desk. Paul hits a distracted Orton, then tries to hit a frog splash. Owens back. He hits Paul with a pop-up powerbomb, and he stuns Orton. Owens tries to hit Orton with... Yeah, he tries to hit Orton with a pop-up powerbomb, but then it gets turned into an RKO, which was awesome. And then Paul tosses Orton out of the ring, and he hits Owens with a frog splash, and that gets the win. And it was a lot better than it had any right to be, considering who's involved. Because I think Kevin Owens is kind of boring. Orton's great. And I hate Logan Paul.
Yeah, I think it was just, they're professional, so that's what it was really going to be. The Prime bottle was none other than I Show Speed, who's this a Twitch streamer. People were saying he's a YouTuber, but he's actually a Twitch streamer. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. He streams live, and I'll just say it's not my audience, or I'm not his target audience, because yeah, he just does stuff like he set off fireworks in his house and like almost burned his house down, and he does a lot
Oh,
of
so
like,
he's retarded.
yeah,
Okay.
he does a lot of like, there's this like um Skype type chat thing. It's called like Omegle or Omegle or something. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go like face to face chat rooms with people. So he does that a lot, and then he like gets the women on there, and then he starts acting crazy.
So
He's
he's
gotten
retarded.
canceled. Yeah, he's gotten canceled before
Okay.
because he was on that site and he said, should I say it?
Say it. Fuck it.
Yeah, he said, oh, if we were the last two people on Earth, would you have sex with me? And then the lady was like, no. And he's like, well, who gonna stop me? Who gonna stop me? So yeah, that's the kind of person he is. He's like, we're the last two people. Who gonna stop me?
Well, he's got a point, I guess.
He does. But yeah, that was his canceled moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was
Can't
a little
be
tame.
can't be joking like that.
Well, Bailey
But yeah,
versus. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, that was the prime bottle. But that's about it. That's all I was gonna say on it.
Cool. Fuck him. Bailey versus Io. And it's for the lesser women's title. And Bailey won with the rose plant. I thought it was a good match. Just felt like a long SmackDown match, though. A very long SmackDown match. I thought it was surprising that none of the friends that Io chose over Bailey came out to help her retain her title. And I thought Io sold the rose plant like a fucking soldier.
Yeah, I thought of the women's matches, this was probably the better one on the card, like between Rhea and Becky, and
Yeah,
then the Triple Bs. This was, the best one on the card.
they don't
There
mean
was that
much.
one moment where, Io. Well, first of all, her presentation it made her feel like kind of a big deal or important. Um,
Really?
yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. I kind of felt that way.
I felt like it was a little underwhelming. Like if she was a challenger or just another or just another person on the card, sure. But she's the champion and she just got the flashing lights and she got that shitty little clip art video.
Being shot, and I just felt like it
Okay,
was
fair enough.
she felt like a bigger deal. And then there was that moment where she countered the rose plant, where Bailey hit it, and then she did that flip, and then and then the crowd was like, "Holy shit!" That was a good moment. But unfortunately, right after that, the rose plant was hit, and new. I'm sorry, and new was right after that. So
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it makes sense that Bailey won. I just don't know in hindsight if that was the good decision, but I guess we'll get there.
damage control has nothing now. In fact, I don't even know if we saw it.
They weren't on SmackDown.
And yeah, they have nothing, and it seems like we're heading for them to have less than nothing.
They have the prestigious women's title. or the women's tag team titles.
It seems like that ain't gonna be long either. We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Well, Backlash is in France, just like he said. They promoted it, and it's 3 weeks from Saturday. Which is why everything seems kind of thrown together. We'll get to that. Snoop Dogg announced the attendance. I don't give a shit. The Eagles cheerleaders were there too. And then he said that he combined the two attendances, that it just kind of seems cheating, or like it's cheating.
Oh yeah, that it was like the 2-night record.
Like, how many of those people were there? You know, do they have to buy 2 tickets? How does that work?
I think it was 2. You get both tickets on one purchase. I think.
So then, if you get 2 tickets on one purchase, should that count as 2 separate attendances?
Maybe.
Okay.
It does for them.
Well, finally, we are at the moment we've all been waiting for. It's Cody versus Roman for the undisputed Universal Championship. They did a banger of a hype video before the match. Loved it all. I wanted to jump in there and fight Roman myself. Get my ass whooped. Just go in there and just immediately get punched. I like that they don't shy away from Cody's AEW past, because they showed Nick and Matt Jackson in the video.
They kind of had to, yeah.
Yeah.
Just telling the story.
Well, they don't really have to. They could have shown him just posing on TV, the little TBS logo thing.
Or blurred them out.
Yeah.
He's standing with 2 blurry figures.
2 somebodies.
Yeah.
And Cody comes out with this fucking Dances with Wolves music, wearing a skull mask and flames and tattered war banners all over the place. And it just, God, it felt epic. His wife Brandy was there. She looks good. And Roman gets the entrance Gunther should have got. I think Gunther should have got. Yeah, he should have got a choir. But Roman's entrance was great. And Cody and Roman have a stare down. I think Roman says one more dance to him. And then finally we're off. Cody gets a table early. Roman stops him. And then Roman picks the table up and tosses it under the ring. Finally making me a Roman fan. Fucking tables. Reigns uses a kendo stick. Roman took out Paul's stupid Prime display, which I thought was great. He made me such a fan of him. He did all the things that I want all the wrestlers to do. It's great. Reigns used a kendo stick again. And then him and Cody fight through the crowd. Roman gets suplexed on a table. And then they fight back to the ring. Cody gets powerbombed after going for a disaster kick. Roman calls Cody a little bitch. So there's a lot of cursing in this WrestleMania. And I'm not sure I'm a fan of all that. Like from WrestleMania 1 through at least 14, it's pretty wholesome. But this WrestleMania, you got the commentators saying shit and you got all these fucks, and I think they're overdoing it just a little bit. I want you to think really hard where that's coming from.
Yeah, I could see that.
At least the commentator. I don't think the commentators should be in on the cursing.
That was the first time the commentator, or I heard the commentators actually cuss. Usually
Yeah.
they leave it to the talent to do it.
I know McAfee thinks he's a man and he's entertaining, but he shouldn't be saying shit and just, I don't know, demeans everything. So there was a double, or there was an awesome double, there was an awesome double clothesline spot. And then Cody finally hits his disaster kick, but it's only for 2. Cody then goes for a Cody cutter, but Roman counters with a crossroads for 2. And then Roman starts immediately laughing. And he says, "That move sucks. It don't beat nobody. I just used it to rub it in his face." And he turns to turns to Paul. "I just did to rub it in his face. I didn't try to beat him with it."
Yeah.
Cody hits a bionic Elmo to Roman. And then he rolls out of the ring. And then Cody clears the announce desk and grabs Roman. And Cody gets hit in the balls. And then Cody gets powerbombed through the announce desk. Roman rolls Cody into the ring and hits a Superman punch. And that gets a 2 count. Then Roman goes for a spear, but Cody blocks it. He hits a Cody cutter for 2. And then Roman goes for a rock bottom. Cody gets out of it and hits a spear, but that's a 2 count. And finally, Cody hits his crossroads. He's going for a consecutive one, but Jimmy super kicks him right in the fucking face. Jimmy picks up Cody so Roman can deliver another Superman punch. Then Jay's music hits. So naturally, Jay comes out, usually what the music means. And Roman tells Jimmy to go handle him. Jimmy and Jay fight to the entrance ramp. Jay spears Jimmy off the entrance ramp. Cody tries to win with a quick little roll up, but Roman kicks out and hits Cody with a spear. And that gets a 2 count. And Roman's livid. He's even threatening little Nate at this point, who's the referee. And Roman tries to lock in the guillotine, but they fight to the floor. Cody spears Roman through the barricade. Cody gets Roman in the ring and hits him with 2 consecutive crossroads. And then just before he's about to hit that third, Solo comes out of nowhere. He hits Cody with the Samoan spike. Solo drags Roman on top of Cody, but he kicks out. Solo turns around and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he starts beating Cody's ass. And Solo starts shouting at Roman to finish it. Roman's like, "I know!" Then Solo and Roman hit Cody with a spear and a spike combination. And Cody crumpled like a piece of fucking paper. And somehow Cody kicks out of all of that. Then John Cena's music plays. John Cena comes out. He starts whooping Solo's ass. Cena hits Roman with the FU. Then he FUs Solo through the Spanish announce table. Then the Rock's music plays. Rock comes out. He's slinging obscenities. Cena and Rock have a moment. Cena still has the bald spot. Cena does the "you can't see me," and then he takes a swing at the Rock. Rock bottoms Cena. Oh shit. Then the Rock takes off his weightlifting belt. It's the Mama Rhodes belt. And it looks like Cena's going to be the Rock's bitch. And then the Shield music plays. And the Shield music plays. And the Shield music plays. And the Shield music plays. Finally, Roman slides in the ring and Superman punches Seth Rollins. Then the Shield music stopped. Then the Rock starts talking shit to Mama Rhodes. Rock goes to whip Cody with the Mama Rhodes belt, and then boom, lights go out. Crowd loses their shit. Lights come back on, and the Undertaker is right behind the Rock. The Rock's talking shit at the at the entranceway. Like, "Oh, you gonna come out here? I'm gonna blah 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 blah." Then he slowly turns around, sees it's The Undertaker. He goes to hit The Undertaker with the belt. Undertaker grabs him by the throat, hits The Rock, the final boss, with a fucking choke slam. Lights go out, back on, Taker's gone. And then when the lights come back on, it's just Cody and Roman in the middle of the ring. In between them is the Mama Rhodes belt and a chair. Roman gets to his feet first, and he has to decide to use the belt or the chair. Roman chooses the chair. And then Roman sees Cody Rhodes right before him, and he stops. He turns, and he sees Seth Rollins struggling to get to his feet. Does Roman strike Cody down, put an end to his greatest foe since Lesnar? Or does he take revenge on Seth Rollins after a 10-year betrayal? Roman chooses Seth. Then Roman goes to spear Cody. Cody kicks Roman in the face and hits a crossroads. Cody slowly picks Roman back up for a second time and hits him with another crossroads. Cody picks Roman up for a third time, and this is the hardest thing Cody has ever had to do. His whole body's trembling. He's so weak from exhaustion, from getting his ass whooped. He's had The Rock, he's had Solo, he's had Jimmy. Now he has Roman. And with his last bit of energy, he hits him with a third crossroads. Heyman shouts, "No!" Cody slides on top of Roman. 1, 2, 3. It's over. And Little Nate finally hands Cody his belt. Cody celebrates with Brandy. Rock, Roman, and Heyman leave with their tails between their legs. There's a nice moment where Little Nate hands Rock his Mama Rhodes belt back, and Rock just snatches it from him. The baby faces Roman beat, and that little bitch of a piece of shit Sami Zayn came out to congratulate Cody and put him on their shoulders. Punk came out, and he raised Cody's arm. Cody and Mama Rhodes hugged, and he gave her the title. Cody gets on the mic and says he's surrounded by greatness in the ring and in this stadium, but wants to thank two important people, Triple H and Bruce Pritchard. So Bruce Pritchard and Triple H come out. He has a moment with Pritchard. They hug. And then Triple H comes out and they have a hug and have a little moment. Cody gets his arms raised and he gets on the babyface's shoulders again. Also that piece of shit Sami Zayn. And then Cody goes to ringside to shake everyone's hand. Cody shakes Rollins' hand, says he owes him. Rollins was selling the chair beautifully. Like the entire time. He normally, I don't know. I think that they would kind of break that and celebrate with Cody. Like, oh, it wasn't that bad. But Rollins just, either that or his back is really fucked up.
It could be both, yeah.
Cody or Michael Cole tells Cody that he loves him. Very heartfelt. I still hate Michael Cole. Cody also hugged the camera people and Nick Khan. And then Cody tells everybody to get out of his fucking ring so he can leave, or so he can have his moment. And he does. And that was WrestleMania 40. Oh,
Man, oh man. That was an emotional main event. And, you know, you give me shit about, oh, you don't like wrestling. This was my wrestling. Overbooked, nostalgia hits. You get the John Cena, The Undertaker coming out, and they came out like one by one, so you knew it was like, I wouldn't say it was predictable, but oh, here comes Jimmy. Oh, here comes Jay. And it's like, who's next? Solo. Oh, who's gonna get Solo? Oh, here comes John Cena. There's a little bit of me. Um, as you remember from Monday, I said Stone Cold because they were John Cena and Stone Cold were on the production truck. So I expected to hear the glass shatter. Apparently, a lot of people did, and there was a story on why that didn't happen.
Yep.
But that's what I was like, that glass is about to shatter.
That was the only. Not that I don't like seeing the Undertaker. I wish the Undertaker wouldn't have come as Mark Calloway. He was the only, like, come on, man. You couldn't fucking at least put on a robe or something?
Yeah, I could see
When he
that,
just
but
walked out of bed. Oh, just in Philadelphia. I'll choke slam the Rock. It's cool. But
yeah,
yeah, I
I
think
guess this is his version of the Undertaker now, though. I don't know.
it's a stupid version.
Well,
Um, but yeah, it should have been Austin. But what do you got to do?
yeah, this is just a little nitpick, but I don't know. I don't even want to say I was disappointed that it was the Undertaker, but you
I
know, I
I
was
don't think you
expecting
can
Austin.
be because it's not Austin and the Rock's moment. It's Cody's moment. So whoever helps him, we just want Austin because it's Austin and it's for us.
Yeah, I guess the best way to the best way to kind of put it into terms is like I'm getting a cheesecake and I expect that I'm going to get a whole cheesecake, but I only get like a slice of it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's still cheesecake, so there's that. I just thought there was going to be more of it.
Or you get hot chocolate and it doesn't have whipped cream or some shit.
Yeah, it's like, well, you can throw it. No, 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 no. I'm going to enjoy it still. I just thought it was going to be more of it. So yeah, that's the one thing. But Seth Rollins being the Shield, Roman Reigns, he had his moment. He's like, "Do I get revenge for this 10 years?" Because it was, you can hit him in the back with the chair.
I thought they've wrestled though.
They have, but he's never beat
So,
Rollins.
oh, okay. Even when he's
So
during this 1,000-day run, he hasn't wrestled Rollins.
he has, but he never beat
He,
him. It was a disqualification.
really?
Yeah,
Huh. Okay.
they're telling that story that he's never beat
No,
Rollins.
that's good. Okay. Because I know that they've wrestled. I mean I don't know results and shit.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a sad day over here. Our tribal
Yeah.
chief no longer champion. Bloodline, we're in
Now,
shambles. Now
do you,
that's fast forwarding a little bit, but
do you think that it should have been Rock and Roman now?
like this WrestleMania,
Yeah. Do you still think that it should have been
no,
Rock and Roman? Now, obviously,
no,
we have hindsight now.
yeah. Even going into it, just like the build that's happening now,
Hmm.
I'm happy with what we got. So I think
And that's all I wanted.
the audible was the right call at the end of the day.
I think
All
so.
of it, all of it. The Rock
Yeah.
coming out to say, "I'm going to WrestleMania." Cody saying, "No, you're not," and then them having like it all played to a perfect thing.
Yeah. Good shit.
And yeah, and like you said, just to think we were just gonna get a standard, even if it was Cody, it was just gonna be a standard run of the mill WrestleMania, but fans forced change and it went for the better.
It was. Because, I mean, Think about it. If we would have had Rock and Roman next Monday, we would just be back to where we were last Raw before or Raw after WrestleMania. Cody would still be chasing the title, maybe. Rock would be going away. Roman would have the belt, and he would be around sporadically. Now, the belt's on somebody else. We got somewhere else or somewhere we're going, and then the bad guys, they got something they're doing. And Roman can still do whatever the fuck Roman does.
Yeah, it did work out, but not having the belt in the bloodline is kind of hard.
Well, we'll
I
see if he
was
gets it back.
I was trying not to whoa so hard. Like, no, I can't betray Roman like that. I
Well,
wanted to be a part of that big whoa, but I was like, I gotta stay true to my bloodline.
well, the bloodline has fallen.
Unfortunately, I don't know what to think about it when we get into that. But yeah, that was awesome WrestleMania.
Now I'm hearing
Um,
that it's the best WrestleMania.
well, Triple H is hammering that down.
Yeah.
I
I'm not
wouldn't.
sure about that.
Well, yeah. So I can't say that it was the best WrestleMania.
It's
And I
best
was
one in a
thinking about the
while.
main event. Like I was thinking about the main event. I can't say that it's the best main event finish, but I'm hard pressed to find something that's better.
A main event finish.
Like a main event that was, better booked. Yeah. Like I can't say it's the best, but I can't find.
I think
Maybe it's just like,
Brett and Owen was better. Or not Brett and Owen, Brett and Sean.
oh, the Iron Man match.
Yeah, I think that was better.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that goes to like if you're a wrestling purist or
Well, it's not even that. It's just the Brett was the traditionalist. Sean was the new, brash, young guy coming in.
the boyhood dream.
Yeah, he's bringing in all this change. Brett's old school. Kisses his mom. Says yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. That type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so alike, and they're masters of their craft. That type of shit. Very different story, obviously, but I don't know. I thought that was a little better.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence.
That's cool. I think there's a lot of recency bias.
It's definitely top three. I can say that for sure. Top
Well,
two, even.
I'll
But yeah,
say I'll say it's the best one in the last 5 years.
yeah, that's for sure. Well, it's probably the last 10 years,
Yeah.
but maybe it's just like because I can't just like think of every main event off the top of my head. Maybe that goes into it too.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty damn good pay per view. I'm sorry, finish. I would
Well,
say as a whole, the pay per view is pretty good.
what about that Savage main event that you like so much?
But that wasn't the main event. That's what I'm saying. That
Oh, it
was
wasn't, was it?
an undercard. Yeah.
But can the undercard be better than the main event?
Well, in that case, it was. But I'm
Because
judging
I would
just main
say
events.
Kane and Undertaker would be better. No, they said the best WrestleMania.
Yeah, they did. I'm just saying the main event wise, is it the best?
Oh,
It's hard to say it's the best, because you'd have to like go like match for match. So
yeah.
yeah, they can say that because it was just the most recent.
I think that's what it is. It was really good though.
Yeah, I enjoyed everything about it. Maybe there was like ultimately like the triple threat Latinos. Maybe that one was like that was a miss for me. But aside from
It
that, yeah, pretty much every match.
could have done without Lashley and the other ones.
Yeah, that too. Scarlett was there. Oh, that's a good point you bring up there. Corey Graves said this is their first appearance at WrestleMania. All of them, even Paul Ellering. It's like, nope.
So Corey
That
Graves
was,
doesn't watch WrestleMania.
yeah, because that was a. And he said, oh, I had to fact check this. Nope, you didn't because
So
talk to him, Hawk.
not only did you lied about researching the lie.
Yeah. Because, yeah, I think it was, what was it, WrestleMania like 7 or something?
That was one of them.
And they were standing on the stage. I'm telling this
Yeah.
to the audience, so when you fact check it, they're standing on the stage, Road Warriors, and then they were taking turns passing it off to each other by calling each other's names. Tell him, Hawk. Back to you, Road Warrior. Animal. Tell him, Paul. They kept doing that. So
Yeah.
maybe they were saying like the first like match he was a part of, but even that I could see. I don't think that was even in the first instance there either. Maybe that was, but he's
Was
been
he
on
actually?
WrestleMania.
I didn't really watch it. Was he in the match?
No, he's the manager.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's bullshit because he did that for
But
the
yeah,
Road Warriors.
they said first appearance at WrestleMania. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
gotcha.
So moving on to Raw, and they're really leaning into the new era thing. There's a new Raw bumper with Triple H voiceover. And it's finally his fucking ship.
Very Avengers-esque, by the way.
Yeah.
Or not, I'm sorry, not Avengers, Marvel.
We're still in Philly. And speaking of the devil, Triple H comes out and he gets a deserved applause. Crowd chants, "Thank you, Hunter." He says it's pretty funny considering, or I think it's pretty funny considering how much the guy was hated when he was champion and how like, oh, he's just where he is because he's fucking Stephanie. Now everybody loves him.
Yep.
I think everybody loves him because he's not Vince. Like, oh, something different. Thank Christ.
I don't know. Wrestling seems to be back right now.
We'll see. When I start hearing normies talk about wrestling, that'll be the barometer for me.
Oh, that's yeah. I've heard normies talking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about what specifically?
Uh yeah, some people talking about this was two different like and I was in the conversation, I just heard it. Some people were talking about Logan Paul wrestling, and
Okay.
then some people were talking about Stardust is the champion now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't help them. They were just like,
No. That's
I was
okay.
like, oh yeah, that Stardust guy is the champion now.
That is wild, man.
It is. It was weirder that the guy that I heard saying it he actually was like, oh, I got when I used to watch wrestling, I got out of it, and then he's like, my favorite wrestler was Stardust, and now he's the champion. It's like your favorite?
How is that? I don't
I
think
don't know.
Stardust wasn't even Cody's favorite.
I did like Stardust.
He's all right.
Stardust, and I don't know. It seemed like he was putting everything into the character, but
True. I don't think that the WWE was. I think it could have been a cool concept. I wish they did more of the serious Goldust shit versus the comedy joke shit, but it's WWE.
Yeah.
So Triple H says, "No, I came to thank you. And that was the greatest WrestleMania of all time by any metric." Like I said, that's debatable. On Sunday, I welcomed you to WrestleMania. Today, I welcome you to Raw. It's also a new era, and here's the man leading us to it. And out comes Cody. Cody holds up the belt. Triple H holds up his arm. If there's any doubt that the machine is behind Cody, it should be squashed like right now, because they're all in. Crowd says you deserve it. Triple H congratulates Cody for beating Roman and headlining the greatest WrestleMania and having the largest gate of all time, or Raw gate of all time. But one last thing, Triple H says. He shows a video package. Cody cries, of course. Triple H and Cody hug. Triple H leaves. Cody puts the belt in the middle of the ring, kisses it, and he makes Samantha call him the champion again. And he says last year on Raw, he laid out his goals, and on Sunday, it became a reality. And we're all on top of the mountain. Cody says he acknowledges Roman, and the crowd chants, "Thank you, Roman. And most important superstar of our generation, and I was destined to beat him." People ask Cody why he pushed himself to be the best, and he can be one of the reasons, or people ask Cody why he pushes himself to be the best, and he says one of the reasons is his daughter, and he shows a little video. And he says he wants his daughter to know that when he goes to work, he's working in the main event, and then when he fights, it's not as challenger, but as champion. And he went from undesirable to undeniable to undisputed. And then The Rock comes out. Crowd chants Undertaker at The Rock after he poses with his handmade belt. Rock gets a Rocky sucks chant. Rock lets the crowd boo him and get it out of their system. Finally, he talks and they boo louder.
Yeah, they gave him the Dom treatment.
Yeah. They chant "shut the fuck up" or something at him. I think they chanted "shut the fuck up" at him.
Yep.
And then Rock says he's a lot of things, but suck isn't one of them. And Rock gets an asshole chant, and it's like, God damn it, get to the point. Because he kept like putting the microphone to his mouth, and then he put it down, and let the crowd just hijack the show even more. Just fuck. It's their fault. They should discourage that. Rock says he came out to congratulate Cody for winning last night, and for the city of Philadelphia for breaking the record for the largest gathering of trailer park trash. And the fucking dumbass crowd actually cheered for that because they're stupid. Rock tells the crowd to shut the fuck up and that they're pieces of trash. And now Rock gets another shut the fuck up chant. Cody holds up his belt. Rock holds up his belt. It gets boos. Rock finally says, "You did it. You completed your story, faced all the odds, and beat Roman Reigns. All the stuff Rock threw at you, you overcame it." Rock says Mama Rhodes was proud. She had a big smile on her face. And so did your daddy in heaven. That gets a Dusty chant while Cody looks like he's about to cry again. Cody says Dusty was his hero. Good friend, in fact. I'm not sure how my dad felt, or my dad and your dad were really good friends, and I'm not sure how my dad felt after he saw all the things I did to you, but I don't care. Rock says, hold out your hand. Or, God damn it. Rock asks Cody if he can hold his belt because he's never held it before. That's the one title he's never held before. Cody says, you can hold mine if I can hold yours. And I'm like, what are we doing? Then they exchange belts. Crowd chants that this is awkward, which it was. They boo when The Rock puts it on his shoulder. Rock says it feels right and hands it back to Cody. Now The Rock says he's going to go away again. And says he doesn't want to go because he made wrestling cool again. Rock sings the goodbye song, the na 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 na.
Mm-hmm.
Rock says when he comes back, he's coming for Cody. And then Cody says, bet. Then you beat Roman, but before I beat you, or you beat Roman, but just 24 hours before that, I beat you, Cody. Your story with him is over, but our story has just begun. Cody says he believes that Cody says he believes that because The Rock's the boss. But Cody's the champion. He's their champion, and he's The Rock's champion. Rock says, you're right. You're my champion. But before I leave, I have something to give you. Then he pulls something out of his pocket, hands it to Cody. Rock tells Cody that you don't even have to open your hand to know what this is. Don't you ever break my heart again. And if you want to smell what the final boss is cooking. And then Rock leaves. Cody looks more concerned then than when The Rock told him he was going to bleed. And that was that.
Yeah. Hot start.
And The Rock is going away, of course.
Well, we knew that. But we never know. We haven't found out yet what he handed Cody Rhodes. And I don't even have a guess of what he handed him, so I can't do anything there. But it was a good little opening loop for the story. They did let the crowd go a little bit long, especially The Rock. But on the other hand, I don't know if he could have powered through it because they were so opinionated. So I think he kind of had to let him do it.
I don't
know. But aside from that, drawn out segment part of it, we are setting up Cody Rhodes versus The Rock. We're teasing that The Rock's going to be champion. I don't know if he's actually going to do it, but now we already have the picture of him holding the title. So there's that. So it'll be a little interesting. I don't know when he's coming back. He's going to film
back WrestleMania time because that's where the money is. He's going to come and steal somebody else's WrestleMania spot again. It's going to be an annual thing with Dwayne.
Well, if he gives us this kind of TV, then come on,
he
brother.
Didn't give us the TV. Cody and Roman gave us the TV. Rock was just a side character. In fact, Rock didn't even need to be there. If you could have put anybody there. That's not true. That's not true.
He was the whole story.
No, he wasn't the whole story.
Well, the buildup. He was the buildup.
He became the whole story when he decided to insert himself into the main event with Roman. And then the fans said, no, we don't want you. And then he still decided to be the main part of the story. He overshadowed Roman.
He did.
So he's not the story. He took over the story. He made the story about him.
Well, yeah, I guess if it's WrestleMania, then we're showing in that Cody Rhodes is going to hold that title until WrestleMania.
I don't see why he wouldn't. You've invested in Cody Rhodes for 3 years. You can give him a year's run with the title.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
It's just a year. I mean, at this point, they do the long runs anyway. Or if he loses it, maybe he gets it back. They did that a lot.
Yeah, I was thinking, is this going to be a long run? Because
I think it'll be a good run. I don't. It's not going to be 1,000 days.
well, yeah, that ain't happening ever again.
Right. Well, I mean, it'll happen again, maybe, but
Not in our, not in this era.
mm,
I think someone will come along in years, probably like Roman's kid, if he has a boy. I don't know that. Maybe he comes along and then he goes for the reign that his dad, you know that kind of thing. But I don't think anybody in the roster right now is going to be having 1,000-day reign. I don't think they can get away with it again because the crowd's not going to let that. They're like, oh, we're not going through this again.
just depends on who it is. Depends on who it is, who the story is. Like if they just give it to AJ Styles for 1,000 days, everybody's just going to turn their TV off. But if they book 1,000 days of compelling story like they have with the Bloodline and shit, and they actually think about it and take their time and don't rush it, and because there's so many times that they could have had Roman just lose and end the Bloodline shit, but no, they let it ride.
That's true.
But you can't just do it with everybody. So you gotta have the right person, like Cody.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because on the heavyweight championship side, we have pretty set that it's going to be Punk and McIntyre. So whoever wins Money in the Bank, what are they going to do? Just hold it again for a year? I don't know.
I wish they would
Maybe
just get away with or do away with that. It's a joke.
it is, but it's always exciting when you get a cash in. I guess
Is it?
like
I
the
always feel like it's
priest.
cheap.
Did you hear that pop?
He got a good pop, but eh. We just had that really good match and really good storytelling with Seth and McIntyre, and then Priest just comes in and swoops and leaves just because he has a
Yeah,
briefcase. I don't know. It's nothing against Priest. It's just the Money in the Bank thing.
yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
Okay.
But oh, because Cody, yeah. So yeah, maybe The Rock comes back at SummerSlam. That would be the only other thing outside of WrestleMania. I'm thinking, and now there's comes some conflicting reports. You got Meltzer saying that, oh yeah, Cody Rhodes versus Rock is the penciled in main event for WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, that's the
But
rumor.
I would think it would be Roman versus The Rock, and we're building to that, seeing as also what we saw on TV. So then that would leave SummerSlam would be the only other place. But I don't know. It's gonna happen at some point, and Cody Rhodes is gonna have a good title defense run, I guess. We'll see about that. Oh yeah, Dijak. He tweeted out at WrestleMania. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be this month. It may not be next year. This year, but you fans are gonna turn on Cody and you're going to start booing him out the building. And I'm putting this tweet here so I can reference it when it happens.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the nobody from NXT?
He's a somebody, but yes, NXT.
Okay.
So yeah, he said
Well,
fans are going to turn on Cody at some point. So I already said that.
Everybody said that.
Yeah. Oh, you want Cody to win so bad, and then how long until you're booing him? Or people are already, oh yeah, the next champion. Like this guy just got the title. We're gonna have that. He's gonna have it for a minute. Like I heard um some reviewer. I forgot who it was. I listened to a couple different ones, but some reviewer were talking about like the next three champions already. It's like, oh yeah, we can get LA Knight a run, and then he can lose the title to this guy and then this guy. It's like, golly, I'm playing hot potato with the title. Let's calm down here. You just got it.
Yeah, we already have some internet guy booking wrestling. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Well, anything else with Rock and Cody?
No, we'll see when it goes down. I'm here for it.
All
And we'll
right.
see. We've got to figure out what he handed Cody.
Yeah, there's a
That
lot of
day.
speculation. He alluded to it on SmackDown, but one of the rumors that I thought was really cool was it was one of the lays from Roman's necklace, signifying that he took out the tribal chief for losing.
That's a good theory.
Yeah. Of course, that would imply that Roman wouldn't come back, though.
Yeah. I saw one. So right before WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes' bus caught fire.
Yeah.
I saw one that said the Rock handed him the lighter to signify that he was the one that started the fire on Cody's bus.
Ooh.
Um, I mean that's a felony, so I don't know about that.
Right. Well, I mean, The Rock did assault him on live TV, so I don't think The Rock's concerned about jail time.
Yeah, but trying
He
to
made him
burn,
bleed.
that's a big jump from making someone bleed to like trying to
He's,
burn their house down
I don't know,
or
he smeared
bus.
blood on his face.
I mean, it's quite the escalation, though.
Yeah. Well, moving on. The Judgment Day are in the house, and Priest is happier than a pig in shit after winning his title. And did you happen to catch the trend that's been going around with Priest?
Oh yeah, he's the bisexual Undertaker.
Yeah. Any idea why?
No,
Okay.
I ain't in his life that far.
Well, as far as I know,
As a matter of fact, oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, as far as I know, he's not.
Well, I was gonna say I've never like once seen him post a spouse of any kind.
That's fine.
So he keeps that part private. So I don't know where we're getting that he's bisexual.
Yeah, it's very weird. It has to just be cosmetic, then, right?
I guess so. Or maybe they know. That group. They know.
Yeah.
They have their ways. Probably. Yeah.
The Awesome Truth's also in the house. They're the new tag team champions after WrestleMania. The new Raw tag team champions. So is that piece of shit Sami Zayn, and he's with his mom, wife, and then his son that he kisses on the lips. And after that, Ila Dragunov beat Shinsuke Nakamura. And I'm starting to think at this point Nakamura hit on one of Triple H's daughters.
Yeah, they're really pushing him down. Like now he can't even beat the NXT talent.
Yeah. And Drew McIntyre arrives, and he does not look happy at all. And then they show the Judgment Day walking together again. And then Balor, McTurd, and Dominic are in the ring. Balor says that they're there to shove it in all the haters' faces. Damian Priest is champion, and Rhea retained. Dominic got booed. Rhea comes out, says Mommy's on top. Priest comes out. Crowd chants, "You deserve it." Priest says, "You're damn right." And it would have been kind of funny if they chanted bisexual Undertaker out of just really fuck with him. Like, the crowd fucks with him so much and chants it at him so often that he actually turns bisexual.
Mm.
Priest says that he and Ripley are the Terror Twins, and everyone needs to rise for the Judgment Day. Then R-Truth showed up with his belt, and I moved on to the next segment.
Truth tried to go back to the he's in the Judgment Day thing, and then somehow we lead to a match, a 6-man tag. I was trying to think of how we got there. It was a 6-man tag. Truth said something about, oh, but there's only 3 of us and 4 of you, or something like that. And he said that they have a partner that you can't see, obviously alluding to Mr. Cena. Miz is like, I don't want to. Are you talking about little Jimmy? I don't want to wrestle with a partner you can't see. And Truth's like, trust me. And they start the triple threat. I'm sorry, the 6-man tag. That's how we got there.
Cena, Miz, and Truth beat the Judgment Day. Good way to kick off Priest's title reign. Later, Ripley wants Dominic to take care of Andrade. They're wrestling next week. And then little Liv Morgan throws a chair at Ripley and whatever.
She cut her off guard. And I think Rhea didn't even get her hands up. She caught her off guard. And then she throws her into a wall. And the Liv Revenge Tour is in full effect.
Did Rhea Ripley wrestle Nia Jax?
She did.
She beat her, right?
Yes.
With the Riptide?
Yes.
So why the fuck would Liv Morgan give her any issue?
She got her off guard.
Okay, so when they wrestle a proper match, how is it not going to be Ripley kicking her in the fucking face?
Liv Morgan is a former champion.
Liv Morgan is a joke.
She is a former champion.
She is a joke.
Well respected.
She's little.
She's hardcore. She's the face of female
She's not
hardcore. She loves pain. She laughs when she gets hurt.
She laughs because it's in the script.
What else? I ain't got nothing else.
Okay.
She is Liv Morgan. She's hot. She looks.
Okay, I can't disagree with that part. As much as I hate her, I'd still smash it. Bronson Reed cut a promo. He thinks he's something because he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and he's going for a number 1 contendership opportunity later. And I skipped the bitches.
So during the Bronson Reed promo, now I played it a couple times and I couldn't get it, so but there was a glitch. So we're teasing Uncle Howdy coming.
Oh, was there a glitch? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think this one. There's also a glitch on SmackDown.
I didn't see that either. Shit.
It's so hard. Like it was a millisecond. A millisecond. I was like, how are you supposed to? You have to pause the screen at the perfect moment. And I was trying to. I played it back a couple times. I don't think the Reed one. No, yeah, I don't think that either one has had a QR code yet, so we're not that far into it.
Okay.
I said yet, but yeah, there was a glitch, and I think there was some words in one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So the one on SmackDown, there was words and it said, "You forgot about us."
I'll have to go back and watch that then, because I did not catch that at all. Yeah, I skipped the bitches.
Let's see if I have it written. Trying to remember which one. Oh, Indy Hartwell. She went one on one with a debuting Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez wins, and they keep telling the story that Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae are at ends because Candice LeRae wants Indy to cheat, and she won't do it. And she keeps losing because she won't listen. But yeah, that's about it. Yay, Roxanne Perez is on the main roster for now, for today.
The bitch ass Sami Zayn didn't waste any time devaluing Gunther's title. Skipped his promo because he's a sun kissing homo. Imperium came out to avenge Gunther. Gable came out to shush everyone, so Gable's go back to being a jester again. Gable and Sammy beat Imperium. Sammy won in one match this year, so now he's an ass kicker. Hope his plane crashes, leaving Philly. If not, he's wrestling Gable next week.
Yep. And it says about. Oh, by the way, Gunther did get a brain buster on the top rope.
Yeah.
So there is that. We didn't mention that in night one when I was listening back to it.
I didn't know what that was. I'm not familiar with Sammy's history. So I know that they said it was a botch. I don't know if you mentioned that or not. But
Not me. You know, I don't mention botches.
Yeah, I could tell it wasn't a botch.
I mean, even when I watched it the first
Gunther.
time, I thought it looked like it was because I've seen Pac has done it a couple times over in AEW. I was one of
Yeah.
the 500 people that was watching AEW at that point, and
It looked like he dropped his head on the turnbuckle.
Yeah, says and I want to say Kevin Owens has even done it before.
I don't know.
So it doesn't happen a lot, but it has happened. So,
but yeah, Gunther wouldn't allow himself to be botched. You kidding me? So yeah, IC title means nothing now. Jey Uso screamed into the camera. He had his stupid yeet glasses on. Reed Uso, what's that?
I said I got to get some of those.
Well, if you do, use our affiliate link.
There you go.
Reed Uso, McIntyre, and Ricochet are going to be in a fatal four-way to determine who's going to go for Priest belt. And why the fuck does Ricochet keep getting these goddamn opportunities?
Because he's the highlight of the night.
He's not the highlight of the night. He's the loser of the everything. Why do you?
I was thinking
why
about
in
it.
this universe do you keep fucking losing and getting title opportunities? It doesn't make any sense. If you can't win a number one contendership for the Intercontinental title, why are you getting a number one contendership for the world title?
He's on a bit of a winning streak. And I thought about it. So every time I go and talk about the Meltzer Banger Bros, I want to talk about the wrestling fans, Banger Bros wants their 6-star classics, complaining, "Oh, the opening segment, there was 45 minutes on a wrestling show without wrestling, and you're okay with that." Everybody, those people. Every time I talk about them, I always go to Ricochet as the example.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to see a Ricochet 650? So I was just thinking about that. It's like, it's crazy that I always like go to a Ricochet match when I talk about like the best wrestling.
I don't think he's even close to being the best wrestling.
Well, when I'm given an example of being
Yeah.
being a good wrestling match, I always go to a Ricochet match. I just thought it was funny. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying
Yeah, no, I
it's
see what you're
funny
saying.
that every time I make that reference, I always go to a Ricochet match.
I just don't think it makes any sense that he keeps losing and he's getting these opportunities.
Well, he wasn't going to get that opportunity.
Pierce Aldis and a horse were backstage. Andrade was talking to them and seemed pleased on how it ended. Pierce Aldis and the horse talked about how awesome their rosters were. And then Chelsea Green came in, so I skipped to the next thing.
She was just complaining about not being on the WrestleMania card, and she was going to talk to upper management. And then they said, "Well, what about this? We got a hand-picked opponent for you tonight." And she said, "Well, it better be someone worthy of my spotlight." So there you go.
And that's why Chelsea Green wrestled Jade Cargill for some reason. And Jade kicked the shit out of Chelsea, won with a glam slam. Still doing it right with her. Not sure why she was on Raw, though. And the one nitpick I have with Jade is that fucking pose she does when she pins. It's kind of gross.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I don't know. She's just always done that. She usually licks her. I noticed she didn't lick her fingers this time. Usually she licks her hands as she's doing that.
So yeah, why
I
would you
noticed
lick your
she's gotten
fucking
away from
hand?
that. I don't
It's
know.
weird. Weird.
Maybe
Does her pussy get wet when she licks her hand? That one specific spot in her hand after beating somebody?
it might.
Okay.
Or maybe there's some kind of significance to it
All right.
for her. I don't know.
She has to lick her hand?
I don't know.
Okay. McIntyre versus Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed versus Ricochet. Before all that, McIntyre cuts a promo. Says 5 minutes, 46 seconds. That's how long my moment lasted. And that's bullshit. That's still 5 minutes long, longer than most of you last in bed, so shut the fuck up. Because they were cheering that he lost.
Mm-hmm.
And McIntyre says that he respects Rollins for going out on a shield, sharing a moment that only warriors know about. But then that bondage Undertaker, Damian Priest, showed up. McIntyre says he'd whoop Priest's ass, but he'd probably like it. And McIntyre says the money in the bank briefcase is a joke, cost him the title twice, and it's cheapened everything Seth did and everything he did. You stole that from me, Priest, and I'm coming for you. You're nothing more than a transitional champion, and after tonight, that belt belongs to Drew McIntyre. McIntyre got into the camera for that last bit, and he looked just really pissed. He's not smiling to date.
Yep, no jokes.
McIntyre says Priest cashed in his contract, but the finish was caused by that prick CM Punk. McIntyre says he did everything he said he was going to do. Win the title, have his moment, shove it in Punk's face. McIntyre did all those things, and it wasn't an accident that he went over to Punk and said what he had to say while Punk was just sat there and took it. And he says, the second I took my eyes off the coward, he sweeps my legs and bashes me in the face with that metal brace. Punk, you thought it was bad before, but now it's on sight, and I'm going for your weakest parts, which just so happens to be your whole body. Then Jey Uso interrupts, and unfortunately, we have the match. Ricochet ends up taking himself and Reed out of the match because he's an idiot. And it's down to Jey and Drew McIntyre. Looks like Jay's about to eat a Claymore. McIntyre does his countdown, and he's about to unload on Jey. He stops, he looks down, and CM Punk is holding his leg with the most sinister grin. Punk says, "That's twice now, bitch." McIntyre eats a jumping super kick and a spear and an Uso splash. Jey Uso has earned the right to give Priest his first notch under his belt. And then Punk dances to Uso's music on the announce desk.
Yeah, there's no way Uso's winning.
No.
But it is going to be fun. So there's that. We're just going to have a fun night at Backlash or whenever the hell that is.
Yeah, it's going to be a Raw match.
Well, what's going to happen at Backlash?
No, I'm saying it's going to be a Raw match on Backlash.
Oh. Probably. But again, we're just going to have fun.
Yeah.
We know he ain't winning, so might as well just have fun with it. But realistically, neither one of them were gonna win it unless it was Drew McIntyre who won the actual match. Like, he's the only one really that had a chance at walking out as champion. So if you don't want to do that, you're trying to hold off on that. So
right,
it just makes sense that Jey Uso would be the next one up.
Well, that was Raw.
That was Monday Night Raw.
You want to shill the shills?
Oh, yeah. Let me talk to you again. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on our way to 500 subscribers. And we can't get there without you. So make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. Subscribe button more important than the like button in that instance, because we need to get to the 500. Also, check out all of our social medias. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Spotify, we're on did I say them all? I think so. Link to everything in the description next to the like button. Shout out to the audio only listeners, by the way. Shout out to the short form viewers. Shout out to the long form viewers. Shout out to the Twitch community, the Twitch gang. And shout out to the audio only. I think I said you first. And let me know in the comments if you want. Oh, you can't comment on. Never mind. Forget comments. But I was thinking maybe we go like audio maniacs on the audio people.
Audio maniacs?
Yeah, like Hulkamaniacs, but audio.
Well, you do the shills, man.
Or we can go A-Team. A-Team, that's the other option. But they're no more important than everybody else who supports the channel. So it's not we, it's damn it, I messed it up. It's not me, it's we.
That's what you get for trying to do all that cute shit.
Yeah, I'll have it better prepared next time. But on a final note, let's make a pact, everybody. You keep hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button, and on our end, we're gonna keep improving the content, and that's the pact. All right, bring it in, everybody. Touch tips. All right, let's go to SmackDown. Everybody touch tips, and then we'll go to SmackDown. There you go, touching tips.
Well, we're in Detroit, Michigan. Finally, we're out of Philly. And Cody Rhodes starts the show off, gets a hell of an ovation, mentions The Rock interrupting him on Monday. He says the item The Rock gave him was a gift Cody gave The Rock. And Cody believes The Rock is going to go away to Hollywood, and he believes he'll be here when he returns.
Yeah, we got a little Moana 2 to record or film. I think there's another movie too. So
But first, we need to talk about Backlash in France. There's going to be a 6-way battle for the number 1 contendership: Escobar, Mysterio, Knight, Styles, Lashley, and Owens. Oh boy. Far cry from Roman or Brock, isn't it?
again, it's the first defense.
True.
So we just got to get through it.
Yeah.
We just got to have fun with it. So in
Well,
that sense, I didn't put too much stock into all the people.
Cody turns to the sold out crowd and he says he's no longer the hunter, he's the hunted. So his message to the 6 men are, if they come for the king, don't miss. Because he's Cody Rhodes. Undesirable, undeniable, undisputed. And I am not excited by any of the names.
I would say, yeah, it's hard to get excited about any of them, but I mean, my one name in the whole thing would be LA Knight, but
Yeah.
then you're putting your two biggest baby faces, and remember that you're putting your two biggest baby faces against each other. Doesn't make too much sense. Like, we can't be putting Cody in a chance where he can be getting booed already.
Styles makes they had a issue in New Japan. They were both part of the Bullet Club.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be Styles. That's what I was kind of getting at.
And it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
So there's going to be that. It's just, AJ Styles. So Bayley's in the house. She's the new women's champ. Rey Mysterio is also there with his Mexicans. And Solo, Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Paul Heyman walk in to find Cody has taken over the champion's dressing room. And they're not happy about that. Owens walks in, tells them that they're not invited, tells them to try a broom closet down the hall. Solo says he's going to fuck everybody up. Heyman tells Solo to cool his jets because that's the price for losing. Cody's the champion now, so he gets the champion's locker room. If they want the locker room, they need their title to come back home. Heyman says that that's the tribal chief's orders. And Solo does not look happy one bit about that.
He does not.
You have LA Knight versus Bobby Lashley versus Escobar. LA Knight won. Escobar's Mexicans tried to help and failed. Did Karrion Kross do something too?
I'm going to be honest. I don't remember.
Okay. So there's that. Rey Mysterio is interviewed. The lady asks about Escobar losing. Rey says it's karma for injuring Dragon Lee. Lady says Escobar denied attacking Dragon Lee. Carlito says, Escobar's all cap, clearly making him the one who attacked Dragon Lee. And then Rey says the truth will come out, but he's focused on his match tonight against Owens and Styles. Rey says he has another championship run in him.
Yep.
Then we get the Bloodline. They come out, and Paul Heyman says there's no excuses. Roman lost. And, even with all the people that helped Cody win, Roman still lost. And accountability is huge here in the island of relevancy. Roman has ordered the Bloodline to accept accountability. What happened at WrestleMania 39 was Roman came in, focused. Cody took his eye off the ball and got distracted by Solo. And what happened at WrestleMania 40 is Cody Rhodes flipped the script. Rollins said he'd be Cody's shield, so when Roman had the chair in his hand, he could have smashed Cody, but didn't because Roman was distracted by his lust for revenge on Seth Rollins. Cody was the better man that night. Your new undisputed champion is Cody Rhodes. But just like a phoenix rising from the ashes, your tribal chief. Solo interrupts Heyman. Solo says losing has consequences, right? Well, Heyman says, yeah. So that means consequences need change, right? Heyman says, well, yeah. Solo slowly pushes Heyman aside and he stares at Jimmy. Jimmy's like, what? Oh, I know you ain't blaming me for last night, motherfucker. You fucked up too. Solo just wants a hug. So he hugs Jimmy, embraces him, and he says that he's his brother and that he loves him. Jimmy's like, oh, I love you too. Then a hooded man attacks Jimmy out of nowhere. Turns out to be Tama Tonga. Tonga beats the shit out of Jimmy until Solo tells him to pick his ass up. And Solo spikes Jimmy a lot. A lot. Heyman is beside himself, and Solo forces him over to his side and throw up a 1. Heyman does so, but then he tries to call Roman. Solo snatches the phone and stomps on it. Solo then gets a chair and puts Jimmy in the corner, and then puts the chair around Jimmy's neck, like almost like a Pillmanizer. He tells him he loves him with like dead eyes. Then does the Umaga ass move to Jimmy. Tonga and Solo leave. Solo makes Heyman come with him. And the commentary asks, who's calling the shots now?
And that is the big question. Who is calling the shots? Because I had to tell you, I don't know if the tribal chief called the shot on this one. I think Solo may have, and this was going to be the title. Solo, I think Solo has gone solo. I was between that one and Solo has gone rogue. I was playing around with each of those. But yeah, I think
Solo run.
But yeah, Solo is, well, first of all, the presentation of Solo, I would think, outside of destroying John Cena as he did, this is a good presentation for him.
Yes.
Hopefully they keep building this.
This is certainly the most interesting he's been since he's gotten to the main roster.
Right, yeah. So where the internet thinks it's going, you'd be hard pressed to argue this. WWE also reportedly has signed Jacob Fatu. So the internet's thinking we're basically getting NWO versus Wolfpack here.
Okay.
Roman is going to join back with the Usos, and they're going to have to go against the new bloodline of Solo, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu. And then I don't know where we would add, because I think there would need to be 4 members each. Maybe not. But yeah, the old
Zilla. There's
yeah,
Zilla.
but I think he would join Solo's group because he's son of Umaga, and Solo is closest to Umaga. But you can't put like all the new guys on the new group.
Yeah, that's what.
Jesus Christ.
As much as I like the idea of Solo going out on his own, I think my theory was that it's The Rock.
The Rock's calling the shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen that floating around too.
And I think this might be setting up for Roman and Rock. Because I
think we are getting there. Yeah, I don't know.
I could see Tama and Solo going after the Usos Then Jacob gets involved. And that's when Roman steps in. And that's when Rock steps in.
But then you need to see. That's what I'm saying. The originals, the black and white bloodline. they they're gonna need a fourth person. But if they bring Zilla in, uh, during the Roman documentary, they mentioned that there's another Uso brother that's training to get into the business. So they got one teed up. So maybe it's him. Which I guess you could do that, and then put Zilla on the Solo side. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But before any of that, we need to really, and me being me thinking I'm in the bloodline too. I don't know whose side I'm on here. Like, damn, that Solo side looks pretty cool, but
except
the
Tama Tonga.
originals. You don't think he looks cool?
Not really. He looks like a bizarro Jey Uso.
I don't know the way they he attacked Jimmy, and then he took his hood off, and then I don't know, there was like the side camera type deal that they were shooting. I don't know. They did him favors, and then he's jacked up.
He is jacked. I've never seen him work though. I've seen him briefly in New Japan. He used to have shit on his face.
I've actually never seen him in New Japan.
Yeah.
I've never seen him wrestle. Heard him talk a little bit. That wasn't the best thing to hear. We're gonna have to fix that, but
Solo's not much of a talker either.
Yeah, I mean he did okay for what this time he did okay. He's got this thing where I don't know, his words are short, but they're powerful. I don't know how to describe it. Like, there's consequences, right? Like he's just not saying too much, but they're powerful words when he says it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to see what Roman Reigns says about this.
It'll be interesting.
But
I'm here for it. I will say that.
Yeah, me too. Unfortunately, I know the day's going to come where I'm going to have to pick a side, so that's going to be hard for me. But
well, you'll just have to let both sides make their case.
Yeah. Actually, I'm already decided. I'm with the originals, the OGs, the Usos and Roman.
I'm on whatever side Jacob Fatu's on.
It was going to be on the Solo side.
Well, there you go.
Allegedly. Oh, but if The Rock is the ringleader, I'm a Rock shill too, so.
There you go. I think it's
that would be
my guess. If Solo's not acting on his own, then it's The Rock trying to undermine everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And it would be good to have Solo get a couple wins under his belt with the new bloodline.
Finally.
And then he goes after Cody to bring the title back to the bloodline, or at least attempt to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We just
my nipples are hard again. Oh, my nipples are so hard.
You're really pinching them too. You're not fake pinching them.
I'm on camera.
I can tell you're really on there.
I'm on camera. I can't fake it.
I know, but I don't know. You could have just
what? Just do this.
Oh yeah,
my nipples are so.
But I could tell you were really on there.
Yep. Cameron Grimes faced Braun Breaker, and Breaker won with a spear, and it was just a Braun Breaker exhibition.
Pretty much.
AJ Styles had an interview. Oh, by the way, Braun Breaker is no longer NXT Tag Champion. Therefore, he is no longer NXT obligated. He is full-time SmackDown now.
Yep. And they changed his music to something.
Oh, did they change his music?
Yeah, it was weird.
I liked it.
I mean, I didn't hate it, but I'm just used to the dun 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 dun. Dun.
Yeah, and see, I never really watched him in NXT, so
That's fair.
AJ Styles had an interview. He says he's fixing what went wrong at WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio and Kevin Owens are just collateral. It's not personal, it's necessary. He's stepping over both of their dead bodies to get what they want. Because I guess that's his line now. LA Knight better watch his ass. Bayley had a segment. She came out and said she's proud to be champion. She retained and lost titles at WrestleMania, but this one's special. Not just because she fought a former friend to get it, not just because she's gets to call herself champion in this new exciting era, the most talented locker room she's ever been a part of, by the way, but because of all the fans that have been there through her entire journey. Bayley's excited to start it. And then Tiffany Stratton interrupts. She's upset about not getting a WrestleMania spot, but she's rectifying that by accepting Bayley's open challenge that she never opened. And because it's Tiffy time. Bayley says she wasn't offering an open challenge. Her money matches with Naomi. Stratton says Naomi couldn't even win a title if it glowed in the dark, which was an awful line.
It was a callback to her glow in the dark title.
I know, but it's an awful line. I know Naomi comes out, and I got bored. Doesn't even look concerned that Jimmy got fucked up. Stratton tells Naomi that what?
You said she wasn't worried about Jimmy at this point.
She wasn't. She just came out and with her ugly face and started talking shit. Jimmy got assassinated by his brother-in-law and some other dude. Heyman was upset. You could see tears in his eyes. Naomi just comes out, oh, I'm a boss bitch. Fuck you. You don't
Golly,
deserve
when'd you get on her?
Huh?
I said, when'd you get on her? When she started catching strays?
I don't know. Just now. Oh, yeah, because of what happens next.
Oh.
So Stratton tells Naomi that they were in the middle of something and that she already beat her. Naomi calls her a little girl and that she's earned everything she's gotten in the WWE. Okay. She does that. I've earned everything I've ever gotten in WWE. Shut up. Naomi can't accept Bayley's challenge without facing Stratton first. And I wrote, I hope Stratton fucks her up. Before that, some lady talks to Jimmy, or about Jimmy, who Naomi didn't seem concerned about. Remember that. She doesn't care about her husband. Heyman comes in, says Jimmy's not okay. Tama Tonga comes in, and he just says, by orders of the tribal chief. Then Solo comes in, wiggles his thumb, and smiles, then leaves. And Heyman just wants to know what the fuck's going on. And Naomi beat Tiffany Stratton for some reason. And Naomi does a move where she puts her opponent's face in her ass. So she's facing Bayley, not Tiffany Stratton. Bate and his lesbian are facing the Street Profits next week.
Look at me. I'm talking and I'm on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, it goes back to that whole Bailey's not losing the title after one defense, so you got to put someone there who can take an L.
My issue is that Naomi beat Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, there. I was upset about that too.
Who, by the way,
That was their first loss, by the way, too,
it was to Naomi
on a roll up.
on a roll up.
Yeah.
Hunter doesn't know how to end streaks properly, it seems.
Well,
Wonder if Naomi
there's
kisses her son on the lips too.
there's moments that you just gotta. You don't want it to be. I don't know. You don't want the streak to become a big thing, so you got to get the loss out of the way early, so that the fans don't like. Oh, I don't know. You're trying to get. You don't want the fans to get behind that there's a streak,
I
so
just
you end
think
it early.
Tiffany's upside is a whole hell of a lot higher than Naomi's.
Well, I said, and I still stand by it. She's going to be holding a briefcase soon.
I think Naomi's already hit her ceiling.
I could see that. I mean, she is like 2-time champion already, so I don't know what else she can do.
She hasn't really evolved. I can't say that she's any different from the first time I saw her to now. Other than her she looks more like a drag queen instead of a glow in the dark, one of those glow sticks.
Yeah. I mean,
I did
what
like
else
her
can
little
she
glow
do?
shoes. I don't know. She could fucking have a mean streak. She could do something other than just paint herself with fucking vibrant colors and dance around. She could put some character into her character. She could stop being just a generic fucking basic bitch with a good entrance. I would start with that.
I guess, yeah.
I would hang out with Jade for a day, see what she does.
Yeah, I guess so.
But she's like the friend. The supporting friend that only gets fucked after the main character breaks up with his girlfriend and has one too many beers.
Well, she's getting her solo run, so there's that for her.
Well, Bate and his lesbian are facing the Street Profits next week, and it's to earn the right to face Theory and Waller for their tag titles. It'll probably be the Street Profits. The Bees beat Piggy Niven and the other one, Not Jade Dwarfs, compared to Real Jade. Not Jade looks like a fucking cartoon character. Twirling the hair and shit with the stupid smile, while you have Jade looking like a real badass.
And you would be referring to Bianca Belair as Not Jade, just so the audience knows there. And titles are probably in their future, is what I was getting at earlier.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that agenda happening again. There was something on commentary that was just like, oh, here we go.
Oh. What'd they say?
I forgot what it was, but it was just, and it wasn't even like a big thing. Like they didn't say like, "Oh, these strong black women," or anything like that. They just said,
"Check like your privilege, Cole, and recognize."
No, it was like the littlest thing. It was like, "Uh-oh, here we go."
Well, whatever. It's the tag titles though, so nobody cares. David Arquette could win him, and nobody would bat an eyelash.
Yeah. Now I will say, I will say they do look like an impressive like duo. And my concern then with that is, well, I guess one can turn on the other. Like once they win the tag titles, like I don't see an end in sight for them.
I think Jade looks impressive. I think all bullshit aside, I think Bianca looks like a cartoon character compared to her.
Hmm.
She does that smiling and the dancing and the twirling. Jade looks like a fucking ghetto bitch that will fucking pull your fucking eyes out.
Yeah, that's
She's
true.
not smiling. She ain't dancing around. She ain't twirling her fucking hair. She's flexing her arms. She's kicking you in the face, and she's gonna glam slam you. I just think that's a big contrast.
That's
Maybe
true.
it'll work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They do seem, yeah. I don't know. I just think get used to this team because we're going to be seeing a lot of them, and they're going to be holding that shiny gold, and they're going to be on the Breakfast Club with those people.
Yeah. With
You know,
Charlemagne the God.
is that their name?
That's his name.
Charlemagne is his name.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna move on from that. Is that gonna be on the Joe Budden podcast too, who got canceled recently?
Why did he get canceled?
Well, you familiar with? Remember I told you about the college basketball
Yeah.
women, and then there's that Kate Clark.
Yeah.
Well, she has a Joker too, because every Batman needs a Joker, and the Joker is, I forget her name for now, but the important part of it is they were, after they lost, she went on the platform and tried to be like, I'm just a person. I don't know why everybody's trying to paint me as the bad guy. And it's like, but if you need someone to, well, it's because she said like, I don't mind being the bad guy, but you take the loss, now you're trying to back out as being a bad guy. And then she tried to throw this, that, and the other. Anyway, and remember, this is like a 19, 20-year-old.
So wait, this Caitlyn person is wanting to be the bad guy, or is the Joker?
No, her adversaries wanted to be the bad guy.
Okay.
But then she lost, and she's like, oh, I don't see why I need to be a bad guy. Anyway, they were talking about it because it became like a big conversation in sports. So they're talking about it on the Joe Budden podcast, which, and again, this is like a 19-year-old, which then turned into on whether or not they would knock her down, have sex with her.
Okay.
And it's like, like Joe Budden is like 50 years old talking about having sex with a 19-year-old.
She's still an
So
adult.
Yeah. So that's why he got canceled.
For wanting to fuck an adult?
Yeah, because of the age gap. But I always say, oh, you call it a diss, I call it a compliment.
How is wanting to be fucked a diss?
No, the age gap thing. There's these people who try to age shame. Oh,
that's called jealousy.
Oh, why are you trying to go knock down 19-year-olds? You're like 50. You're just jealous because I can still. I walk around and never mind.
That's why like the most prudish people are the ugliest and the ones that nobody wants to fuck. It's not because like they have any issues with it. It's because nobody wants to engage with them. So they just want to ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
You're mad because you can't.
Yeah, you can't get a 19-year-old. And no matter how many lives you have, you can't get an 18-year-old. Joe Budden can snap his fingers and get 5 of them.
Yeah.
That's all that is. Owens versus Mysterio versus Styles. Styles won. Styles and LA Knight had to stare down. I'm banking on Styles.
Yeah,
To I
I'm there
think we.
too.
Yep. That was SmackDown. Boop boop doo.
Pretty good, pretty good. I need to learn how to uh, get transitions, but that's here and there.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. Transition better from segment to segment.
No. Which is what. Just look at my verbal cues.
Fair enough. But yeah, that was SmackDown. Pretty good SmackDown. We're in a new era.
I know that
But
Bloodline stuff is really good.
yep, we just caused another 6 to 8 months of television right there.
Oh man, and if this were real, Solo and Tama Tonga would be fucking Paul Heyman right now.
Yeah. he
Like
is kind
prison.
of yeah, he is kind of hostage right now.
Yeah, that's the best part. He stole his wise man.
Yeah. But I don't even know who they can go if they went and got their own wise man. I don't even know who that would be.
Vince McMahon.
Nah, they can't have him.
Could they get Triple H?
No, because he's a face. Like
Well,
it'd have
wouldn't
to be a
Roman be the
heel.
face? One of the groups would have to be a face and one would have to be a heel.
Right, Solo's group is the heel.
Okay, so if Solo keeps Heyman, then Roman can get Triple H.
I'm saying I'm I'm guessing that Heyman is going to go back to Roman when he can.
Unless he turns evil.
Yeah, that is one thing is he can
Maybe
turn
all the
heel.
sodomizing that Tama and Solo did to Heyman turned him to the dark side.
He's got like Stockholm.
Yeah.
It would because it would uh stretch out his career though. I don't know how long he like realistically wants to keep doing things on TV as opposed to like backstage. But you side with Solo, now you pretty much got you a new guy.
I think as long as it's in the main event, he don't care.
Well, you think maybe he's getting to a point in his age where he just wants to chill.
He kind of does though, doesn't he?
I know, but going out there on TV every week and
He
the
just says
reigning
something.
and defending and undisputed.
He just says something for 20 minutes and watches adults throw themselves around.
Well, sometimes people want to get out of the on TV part. They want to just do the backstage part.
I don't know. I do know whatever it is, it'll be the main event.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman ain't staying for the Intercontinental title that Sammy's devaluing currently while he's kissing his son on the lips.
There you go.
He likes to tuck the IC title in with his son before he kisses him on the lips.
That's just a heartfelt moment there. I don't know what you're talking about there.
Yep. Moving on, we have our wrestling rewind.
Retro review. I almost missed it.
Almost. And we're in Philly, PA for this one too. What are the odds? And Boys to Men, Sing America the Beautiful. And it's fucking Boys to Men. It kicked ass.
They sure did.
Classy Freddie Blassie narrated a video package. That kicked ass too. And WrestleMania finally starts. And goddamn did it feel big. I don't know what it was. It was the pyro and the music and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler are on commentary. It's no good old JR. And to open up, Al Snow, Hardcore Holly, and Billy Gunn all face each other for the Hardcore Championship. So this is the Hardcore Championship's WrestleMania debut, I think. And at this point, Snow is with the Job Squad, and he has Head. And this was definitely a hardcore match. I think Snow was the one doing most of the work, quote unquote, especially with that hockey stick.
At one
Specifically,
point,
the
he just
handle.
like straight hit him in the dick.
Yeah. Snow hit Gunn and Holly with Head, but instead of pinning them, he goes to get a table. Then he sets it up in the corner. Billy recovers, and he nails Holly with a chair, then sends Snow through the table. Then Billy Faymasters Snow onto a chair, and then he goes for the pin, but Holly had enough time to recover. So he grabs the chair, creams a defenseless Billy in the back with it, and then he covers Snow for the 1, 2, 3. I thought it was pretty inoffensive, and I'm glad it wasn't that long. It was more of a nostalgia match for me.
Yeah. I like how in his character, Al Snow was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just kind of just a there match for me.
Well, after that, D'Lo Brown and Test faced Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett for the tag team titles. And I guess Jarrett and Hart attacked D'Lo and Test on Sunday Night Heat during their match. So they don't like each other. And Ivory's there with a bandage on her face. Apparently, Terry Runnels, Marlena, put a cigar out on her face. So that's special.
I remember that happening.
I don't.
Not to Ivory, but I remember the cigar out on someone's face.
Okay. Test and D'Lo argue as soon as they come out. Deborah McMichael is there. She looked really good. And this is after 97 sold out. So in WCW, that wasn't her peak.
Okay, this was after.
Yeah.
I was wondering if this was before or after.
This is after.
So this was after she had her respect.
Yeah. I like that she showed more skin in WWF.
Boy, did she.
They didn't even try.
Well, I mean, they had the little coat thing on.
It was little.
Which I was wishing that was going to get ripped off at some point, but it never did.
Nope. So D'Lo saved Test. Then Test tags in D'Lo and tells him to get his ass in the ring and do something. And in fact, Test yelled at D'Lo every time he got hit. And Ivory and Deborah end up yelling at each other, and that distracts the referee. Jarrett ends up rolling D'Lo up after a drop kick from Owen. And then Ivory's now yelling at Marlena and Jacqueline for some reason. And Ivory and Test yell at each other. And then D'Lo and Test start fighting. I'm just glad this was short.
I was thinking at this, I'd already noticed something at this point in WrestleMania, and we're only 2 matches in. And that's that Owen Hart was like so out of place because he's like a wrestler's wrestler. And everybody had we already seen so far is like, I also feel the same like about Ken Shamrock later, but I don't know. Everybody's like so over the top character wise.
Yeah.
And Owen Hart just felt like, I mean, he was a good character and he had his nugget thing and all that, but you just tell he wasn't like, as over the top as everybody else. He was more
Well, he
of
was
a,
teamed with Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett's not over the top, I
well,
don't
he's
think.
got the strut and the,
So that does
he's
it
gonna
for him?
get there. He's
Okay.
gonna get there. He's gonna get way more overbooked Carney. But yeah, it just stuck out to me that Owen Hart kind of felt out of place because he's like a wrestler and everybody else were characters.
Well, it just kind of made me sad because eventually Owen's not going to show up on any more of these WrestleManias. And like our lasting memory of him is going to be like of these 3 fucking minute matches with Test and D'Lo.
Yeah, there's that too.
So we had the Brawl for All finals after that. This is Butterbean versus Bart Gunn. And they played a hype video. Basically, it was a Butterbean highlight package and with Bart Gunn talking like he's going to make a fight out of this. And a couple people, Bart paid off, said he's knocking out Butterbean. And then Bart says he hits hard and he's not afraid of being hit. So he's going to go right at Butterbean. He thought he had a chance. He thought
He
he had
did.
a chance. This stupid son of a bitch thought he had a chance. I don't know if he like actually went the whole, you know, mental breakdown step of believing that he was going to win, but he thought he was going to make a fight out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at some point you just gotta believe in yourself.
Not against somebody. No, not against somebody like Butterbean or Tyson. And I'm not comparing Tyson and Butterbean, but like those power hitters
Yeah,
that do it professionally. There's no fucking way. You pretend to hit people for a living. He knocks people out for a living. You're not making a fight out of this, Bart, just because you knocked out Bart or fucking John Bradshaw. So Isaac Hayes and Mean Street Posse are ringside, and the Tasmanian Devil, Vinny Ponzienza, is the special guest referee. Tyson, what's your favorite Vinny Ponzienza bout?
I couldn't tell you that I had one,
No? What's your
but
second favorite one?
I was looking at I was looking at that guy and said, I think I could take him.
Vinny?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he only lost like 6 fights.
Oh. Well, I don't know. He just looked like I don't know, like someone I thought I could take. He
I
didn't look
don't.
intimidating. Like I don't know, like Pacquiao, he looks intimidating a little bit. But
Yeah,
this guy had like his gel in his hair. Now, again, it's contextual to the times that there is what, the 90s, late 90s. So
yeah.
it was the stuff you did. But
Well, Pacquiao looks like he fights for food,
he does.
and this Panzienza guy, he just looks like a tough street kid.
I don't know. I was unimpressed.
Okay.
You can't be having
Did you
it's
not
those little.
see his moves against the chicken?
I did. He moves quick. It's just
Oh man,
the little
lay that chicken
featherweights. I
out.
don't know.
He knocked that chicken the fuck out. You want to tell me Vinny Ponzienza ain't impressive? He'll whoop your ass, son.
I guess so.
So some other boxing people were at ringside, and Gorilla Monsoon was there, which was great. I don't know if this is his last appearance or not. Bart Gunn and Butterbean meet in the middle of the ring. Butterbean looks like that kid in math class that is really quiet and he got poked the wrong way. And the match starts, and Bart Gunn gets knocked out almost immediately. It's not even a contest. It's one of those fights where that starts off and Butterbean is swinging and Bart is just backed up and he's putting his hands up, not in defense, but just like in a flinching manner. And you can just tell that it's just only a matter of time.
Yeah, you can tell. In the boxing world, they call it the 2-piece with a biscuit. When he hit him with that first combination, when he went low and then went high for the first time, like you can tell he was just overmatched.
Yeah.
And I believe, because again, this whole thing went like 20 seconds. So I
think the
believe
hype
that
video was longer than the actual match.
Oh, it was. It was. The video was longer than the match. But I watched it a couple times because it just seeing Bart Gunn just go good night. But yeah, the first little combo, he hits him, Bart Gunn falls down. And it's like Butterbean's already celebrating and then he gets back up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you want to get back? You should have stayed down.
I
That
like
really get it.
He's on his knees like, wasn't expecting that. Well, let me
Yeah.
get back up.
Yeah, it was that first combo. He already knew. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
Well, my favorite part is Butterbean knows Bart Gunn is not a trained fighter. He even offered to work with Bart, just like he did with Mark Marrow, but I guess Vince shut that down. And according to the Dark Side of the Ring documentary, Butterbean was telling the other wrestlers that like he's gonna kill Bart and he doesn't have a chance. Like, I'm gonna murder this guy. I don't know what your boss is thinking. But that all of that did not stop Butterbean from celebrating like he just knocked out Tyson.
Well, I mean,
It was great.
knocking someone out still feels good. Doesn't matter the circumstances, I guess.
He celebrated like he knew he knocked out a nobody, but he acted like it was the biggest knockout in the world. It was great. And they showed the replay many times, and Bart's head looked like one of those slow motion deals where they smash a watermelon.
Yeah, bounced off the bottom rope and all that.
Yep, fell on the ropes. And then a chicken comes out, and it fucks with Vinny Ponzienza. Vinny Paz uppercuts the chicken, and it seems knocked out. Then the chicken gets up, runs around the ring, and starts shadowboxing with Ponzienza.
Yeah.
So after that, we get the Mankind versus the Big Show. And the winner of this match gets to referee The Rock versus Austin. And this one started on Sunday Night Heat too. And Big Show attacked Mankind, kicked his ass. I guess he was looking for Austin or something, but he found Mankind instead.
Yes. Or that's what they told us, yeah.
So some pudgy fuck is interviewing Mankind. He says Mankind wanted to do, or all Mankind wanted to do was be a part of WrestleMania. And every time he was given an opportunity, Mankind answered. But tonight, Mankind has his toughest challenge yet, the Big Show. Mankind says he's beaten The Undertaker, he's beaten Stone Cold, and now Vince McMahon has thrown another hurdle at him. Mankind tells Big Show that he tried to play nice, but now he's going to be a very angry young man. And hopefully, Big Show can try to have a nice day. So Big Show basically kicked Mankind's ass for however long the match was. There was a moment where Big Show just pushed Mankind into the steel steps and he fell over and just crumpled. He was really good at crumpling.
I was gonna say that he's really good at like folding his body in half to make the other person look so
Like he
much
just
more
killed him.
devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mankind got the mandible claw into Big Show, and he fights out of it by crushing Mankind. And I don't know if that scream. I don't think that was part of the the angle, or I don't think he was selling.
that scream.
Yeah, I think that was legit. Big Show hits Mankind with a chair, and he gets a stern talking to. And then he choke slams Mankind onto 2 chairs, but that's a bridge too far. So the ref disqualifies the Big Show. Show whoops on Mankind with the chair. Then he goes after the ref, slobbering all over the place. Vince McMahon comes out, and he does the Heenan thing where he pisses off the Giant, and then he gets thumped. But the Giant, he thinks twice about it. And he had Vince McMahon in a choke slam, and he puts him down. Vince McMahon, who looks like he's about to shit himself, starts to get his confidence back. So he didn't learn his lesson at all. And he's back in the Giant's face, and he slaps him. Naturally, the Giant lays Vince McMahon out, and Big Show storms off, yells at Patterson and Briscoe that nobody owns him. And Mankind ends up getting stretchered out. And later, Vince demands a phone so he can call the cops and have Big Show arrested.
It is good to note here that this was for the right to special guest referee the main event.
Yeah, I said that at the beginning.
Oh, sorry, I must have missed it.
That's cool.
I don't know. It was weird to me that up until this point, and then continuing after a little bit, that everything had like DQ finishes, run-ins. It was the thing, definitely the theme of the WrestleMania. It was like DQ finishes, run-ins, uh, or just flat out no DQs, but there's supposed to be like a competitive match. And I don't know, this it took me out of this match that the fact that there was I guess it was over at that point, but the fact that there was a DQ. It's like, I don't know.
Well, the Big Show got disqualified, so he's not able to referee Austin and The Rock. And Big Show is part of the corporation, so Vince doesn't have a referee in his pocket for the match to make sure that Austin loses.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So of course the Big Show messed that up.
it makes
And
sense.
he messed up on WCW too. So he's always messing up.
Yeah. Well, after that, Road Dogg, Val Venus, Goldust, and Ken Shamrock all faced each other for the Intercontinental title. Before the match, Venus says he's going to win the Intercontinental title, but the ladies shouldn't worry because it still won't be able to keep his pants on. And Goldust has improved since we last saw him, although he's with the Blue Meanie.
And Ken Shamrock's daughter or sister, whatever the hell she was.
Yeah. She was with Val Venus, and now she's with Goldust. Blue Meanie's jealous of Ryan Shamrock getting too close to Goldust because Dustin always has to be in some fucking homoerotic shit.
Yep, we got to keep that going.
And this is a tag team elimination match, I guess. I don't know how the fuck the rules were. And Goldust failed on a curtain call early. Fans sounded really disappointed. I don't think we've seen a curtain call. I don't know
Yeah,
if we ever will.
we won't.
And Blue Meanie made faces at Ryan Shamrock while her back was turned for some reason. And Shamrock got an ankle lock on Ken Shamrock, not the other one. He got a ankle lock on Val Venus, and then he yelled at the ref for breaking up the hold when Val got on the ropes. Then Shamrock and Venus both fight on the floor. And they get counted out. Shamrock comes in to beat up the Road Dogg and Goldust before leaving it while screaming.
Mhm.
Ah! Ryan Shamrock ended up grabbing Goldust's leg, thinking it was Road Dogg. Goldust is pissed, and Road Dogg ended up charging him. Goldust tried to hit a power slam, but Road Dogg counters it into a thing and gets a 1-2-3. And then Blue Meanie tears Ryan Shamrock a new asshole. Goldust yells at her while she cries. Then Blue Meanie laughs. Goldust and Blue Meanie hug and kiss.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, again, this, I don't know. There wasn't too much to really take away from this match. However, Road Dogg, he was over. He got that, even like earlier when Billy Gunn came out,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, and
Yeah.
then the crowd's like, oh, you didn't know.
Yeah.
So he really had that working for him.
He sure did.
I forgot how over with that he was.
Yeah, me too. And I was never a Road Dogg fan, so that's probably why I don't remember that.
Yeah, he really had that working for him. And then the shake, rattle, and roll. You
Yeah.
remember, isn't he the one nowadays to talk about how he's a bigger draw than Bret Hart and stuff?
Well, no, he said he was a better sports entertainer.
Yeah. See? And you can see it there.
Well, I disagree. But he was very good.
Yeah. Like he had I was just saying, like he had all those things, like the entrance, the Michael Buffer entrant announcing, the shake, rattle, and roll, the knee drop thing, all his little things.
The Bret Hart still had the Hart Foundation and the story about the boyhood dream in Montreal and his brother Owen and the Bob Backlund thing. I think he had a kiss my foot match with Jerry Lawler.
Oh, I remember that match.
So yeah, I would put Bret's worst against Road Dogg's best.
I'm not comparing him. I'm just throwing out there that watching this back, I can see why he was saying that. It's because he had all those things.
Well, up next, Big Show's arrested. So Vince is true to his word, except for when it comes to paying his hookers. And he calls the cop Bob Newhart. Then he says that says they give you monkeys a badge and you think you got some stroke while he's getting in the cop car. And then Show gets into the car before oh yeah, that's it.
Yep, Big Show's arrested.
Kane versus Triple H is next. And I guess Kane hit China with a little tiny fireball meant for Triple H. I guess they're a thing now. And then Triple H, dressed as Goldust, eliminates Kane with a flamethrower cannon. So the creature of Hellfire has this little teeny match, while Triple H has a cannon that is a flamethrower.
Yep.
So before the match, a chicken attacks Kane as he's walking to the ring, and it turns out to be Pete Rose. So Pete Rose got tombstoned.
Trying again. Why would you try that again? What were
Don't
you
suck.
thinking?
So this was kind of fun to watch. It was really easy to forget how awesome Kane is, or was, because they, turned him into such a fucking clown. And it
Yeah.
kind of seemed like a straight up fight. Like no one really got an advantage. And China ended up coming out in the middle of the match, and she grabbed a steel chair, slid it in the ring, and Kane grabs the steps, but Triple H kicks them into Kane's face, and Triple H gets Kane in a drop toe hold onto the steps. Triple H takes a nasty back body drop on the floor from the steps, and then Kane hits Triple H with a choke slam, but Chyna stops him. She's holding a chair. She tells Kane that she wants to nail Triple H with the chair, so Kane says, "Go ahead, baby." Then Chyna hits Kane with the chair just as soon as he turned his back on her. So Kane won by DQ. And Kane turned around. He goes for a choke slam to Chyna, but he stops himself. Then Chyna just taunts Kane. Triple H creams Kane with the chair while Kane was just brooding, beside himself, heartbroken. You can do better than Chyna, Kane. Just saying.
Well, he's burnt. Can he?
Well, Victoria's burnt. I'd start with that.
Sure. She's only new burnt, though.
Well, yeah, he could show her the ways. I can show you.
Can show you the life of the burnt now.
Let me teach you, my buttercup. So Kane gets pedigreed on the chair, and Triple H and Chyna reunite, and the crowd erupts. So were they the good guys?
Yes.
Okay, so Kane was the bad guy who was in love with Chyna. So they had their thing. And then Triple H, the good guy, was mad at the bad guy for having sex with his girl. Is that
Who? Well, she left for the corporation.
Oh, okay. Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that when she was with
And
the big
Kane
boss
was,
man?
yeah.
Okay.
And Kane is also part of the corporation. So he
Okay.
developed feelings with her.
Of
And
course.
then, yeah.
As
And then
bad
she
guys tend to
turned,
do.
yeah. And then she turned on Kane, essentially, and the corporation for
Okay.
Triple H.
Gotcha.
So now she's faced with DX
Okay. So
as of this moment.
gotcha. All right. So the pudgy fuck is back regarding the special guest referee for Rock versus Stone Cold. And he says Big Show's been arrested. Mankind has been taken to the hospital. So I don't have any answers. So it's like, well, why'd you get in the camera and say you wanted to talk about this? Well, luckily, Vince McMahon shows up to say, I'm going to be the guest referee. So there you go. Problem solved.
Yep. Take matters into your own hands.
We had Sable versus Tori. It's for the WWF Women's Championship. Sable gets on the mic and gives her polarizing, "This is for all the women that want to be me and the men who want to see me." Then she does a little stripper dance. Then Sable asks if us boys are ready for the grind. Then she does another little stripper dance. And Sable looked upset and miserable the whole time. Like she was not trying to be sexy in the least bit. Like the dance was the sexiest it got, but her face and her just demeanor was just awful. Sunny was way better.
Are you saying she maybe didn't want to be objectified as she was getting?
I'm saying that she was
Oh,
horrible at her job.
this was on the back of Playboy though, so I don't know.
Well, she didn't. She didn't seem to be too concerned or too upset about capitalizing on that objectification.
That's true.
In fact, nobody would know who Sable is if she wasn't fucking Brock Lesnar or her tits. So,
Well, this is before Brock Lesnar came
well, then
around.
there you go. Her tits are her only redeeming quality.
Brock Lesnar's still in what, college, high
Oh,
school at this
maybe.
point. Good for Brock, by the way. You think he was watching the TV and was like, I'm gonna be fucking her and soon.
I just
Short
know.
order.
I just know Sunny has that essential quality that she would make me believe that she would want to have sex with me, even though the thought of it would make her vomit in her mouth. Sable does not have that quality.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch the match. She beat Tori.
Yeah, it's probably best for the best.
I did skip to one part where Cole was saying how improved Sable was in the ring and how, she's becoming a ring general and all that shit. And then she gave a dive on the apron where it looks like she just fell. She
Yeah,
just kind of
this was. Uh, I will say, I watched a Maxine Dupree match the other day. Probably, just coincidence that I'm mentioning that right now. But that's all I had to say about
sorry.
it. I watched a Maxine Dupree match the other day.
There you go. Well, Nicole Bass ended up helping. She looked way more mannish than China ever did.
Yeah, she did. But yeah, I never point out the botches, so I can't really say anything about this match.
Fair enough. I
But
just
yeah,
know after
Nicole
that
Bass was like, yeah, weird. I don't know how they found such a person.
Howard Stern.
Oh yeah, they did say that. And you know him. He was about the oddities, like Beetlejuice and such.
Yeah, I don't know if she was a bodybuilder or something. And Howard Stern found her.
Yeah, I think that was the way.
But yeah. She was unique. Shane McMahon faced X-Pac for the WWF European Championship. And DX is interviewed before the match. Pudgy Fuck tells X-Pac his chances must have really improved now that China's back home. So Triple H says DX is whole and Shane better bring it because it doesn't matter if he's the boss's son. X-Pac wants to hand him his corporate ass. And X-Pac says Shane better get ready for some pain. And Shane comes out wearing a shirt that says X-Chump. He's also with Test. And Patterson and Briscoe tried to jump X-Pac before the match. And Patterson ends up clocking Briscoe. So X-Pac is freed up to kick both of their asses before heading to the ring. And it's pretty much all X-Pac until Test comes in to be the equalizer. Shane tries to do a people's elbow. And he hits X-Pac in the dick. Then starts whooping him with a strap. X-Pac hits a superplex. And Test drags X-Pac out of the ring. And ends up crashing into him when he does that blind charge thing. try that again. X-Pac hits a superplex on Shane. Test drags X-Pac out of the ring. He ends up crashing into the ring post when he does that blind charge thing at X-Pac. So he's out. And X-Pac gets the strap. He starts wearing Shane out. And X-Pac puts the final nail in Shane's coffin with his karate. And X-Pac hits a Bronco Buster. And then Test smashes X-Pac in the face with his European Championship. And Shane crawls over X-Pac, but only gets a 2 count. Shane tries to hit a Bronco Buster, but misses. Test tries to cream X-Pac again, but is quickly neutralized by X-Pac's karate. Test gets a Bronco Buster, and out comes DX. X-Pac hits an X Factor on Shane. He goes for the cover. Triple H drags Test out of the ring. Chyna distracts the referee. X-Pac wants to know what the fuck's going on. Triple H comes in from behind. And he hits X-Pac with a pedigree. And Triple H drags Shane on top of X-Pac. 1, 2, 3. And Triple H must have been really over because the crowd cheered. And then Triple H and Chyna seemingly align with Shane and the corporation. The New Age Outlaws come out. Billy gets his ass whooped by Triple H. Road Dogg is dealt with by Test. Triple H and Test beat on the Outlaws. Then the lights go out, and it's Kane. DX, Test, and Shane, they all run away, and then Kane runs after them. And then the New Age Outlaws tend to X-Pac. And then Road Dogg calls Triple H a jagoff.
So Triple H has joined the corporation because I guess this whole, as we see this whole night, is like the corporation versus everybody else, kind of like an NWO type deal.
I think this is one of those things that you'd have to watch from the beginning to fully appreciate, because when you're just getting snippets of it, it just doesn't seem very impressive. Just looks like a lot of shit's happening. And it don't make sense.
Yeah, I was picking that up too. And I was trying to keep that in mind when we were watching it. It's like, I don't know the backstory, although I can remember some of it, but I have to take the context with it. And I don't have the context, so we're just got to take it as face value. But I do remember, Triple H joining the corporation. I just, for some reason, forgot that it happened the same night that, DX was whole.
I think this is the beginning of Triple H and Stephanie.
Oh, there you go.
Or not the beginning, but the seeds. Because if you recall, Undertaker was talking about a her in his promos. What her could he be talking about? We know it's not Linda because Vince is too busy fucking hookers to give a shit about her.
Yeah, he has no soft spot for Linda.
He has no soft spot for the orifice that birthed his children.
Yeah.
It's got to be Stephanie.
But yeah, overall, I actually enjoyed this match, which was weird. I think from the, overall, after the Fatal 4-Way match, I think it picked up more for me, and I started to enjoy it.
Okay.
Except for the Sable thing.
Yeah.
Let's not count that into the enjoyment column.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm still burnt out from WrestleMania 40, but this just seemed like a sequence of events. Until the Undertaker Boss Man, I'd say. Which is next.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Well, it's a Hell in a Cell, and Undertaker and Vince McMahon are apparently at odds. Undertaker has abducted Shane, and he's setting teddy bears on fire. That just devastates McMahon. McMahon ends up recruiting the help of Big Boss Man. He has Taker arrested. Taker goes to McMahon's house. McMahon even pleads with Kane for help. It's my family. Lots of references to a she. And the first theme update for The Undertaker. It's his ministry music.
Which I enjoyed.
I do too. I like the Brothers of Destruction music, though. I think that's his best. Personally. Taker looks more like a warlock than an Undertaker at this point.
I think the Kane mentioned that he's supposed to be he's growing more and more into the devil.
Okay. And he's reunited with Paul Bearer. And yeah, I loved how violent this match was. Like Taker was just pummeling Boss Man and vice versa. It was more like a fist fight. Boss Man handcuffed Taker early, and Taker fell to the floor, and then the handcuffs broke. So then Boss Man grabs a nightstick, works on Taker with it, and Taker got busted open. Paul Bearer talked shit to Boss Man the entire time, telling him you're gonna serve hard time. Taker tosses Boss Man's face first into the cell, and now Boss Man's busted open. Pretty remarkable how the match wasn't stopped once with both men bleeding. It's weird.
Yeah.
And Taker finally hits a tombstone out of nowhere for the win. And the crowd was dead for this match. I will say they were booing at one point, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Or saying boring, one of the two. But they cheered for Sable, so they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. After the match, Undertaker stands over Boss Man and he looks up to the sky. The camera cuts to the rafters, and the Brood descend from the ceiling onto the cell, very awkwardly. The Brood then rip their way into the roof of the cell, and they lower a noose to the Undertaker. And the Brood, even more awkwardly, ascend to the rafters. Then the cell raises with Boss Man tied to it, and the Boss Man is hung from his neck until he stops moving. And the lights go out, and you can just see the outline of Boss Man's body just hanging in the middle of the ring, and the only illumination is from the camera flashes.
Yeah, as the camera flashing, he's just like hanging and swinging back and forth.
Not one soul is trying to help him.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was Undertaker versus Big Boss Man. Undertaker's still undefeated. That's important.
He is.
But yeah, and very, very dark moment for a Big Boss Man. But fuck him. We need to talk about WrestleMania highlights at the Philadelphia Convention Center. And that's what they did. So Michael Cole's in the ring. He announces good old JR, who is going to commentate the main event. Don't know why he didn't do the whole pay-per-view. I'm sure that was a thing.
Well, as you saw, his face looks like this was Stroke JR, so
okay.
I would assume he was either taking it easy because of the stroke, because I remember he had got pulled off TV because he had a stroke.
Well, I also remember he went heel with Dr. Death.
Yes.
So I don't know if this is around that time because Dr. Death was around Brawl for All.
Could be.
Well, finally, we are at our main event. It is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock for the WWF Championship. And it just so happens to be a no disqualification match. Vince McMahon comes out to be the guest referee. Then Commissioner Shawn Michaels comes out. Philly loves HBK. And Michael says it's not WrestleMania without HBK. And then he tells Vince he needs to brush up on the WWF rulebook. See, had he taken the time to read it, he'd know that only one man can appoint an official at WrestleMania. And that one man is me. Then he tells Vince to get his Jack LaLanne physique out of the goddamn ring. And he says the corporation is barred from ringside. And if he sees them at all in tonight's main event, Michaels is going to fight Vince out back. Then he escorts Vince to the locker room. Mr. McMahon finally struts away. Like he walked all the way to the entrance. Then he turned around and he just did a quick strut through the curtain. And there's a fan holding a sign that says Mr. McMahon is gay.
That's good for him.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
So The Rock comes out first, and I thought it was really weird how most, if not all, of the champions came out first for their matches.
They sure did.
And I thought The Rock sold the glass breaking perfectly. Just the look on his face.
Yeah, I was like, you knew this was coming. I don't know why you're surprised.
I took it more as like, all right, now it's real now. No more talking. Even though he talked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, Austin and Rock start talking shit during Austin's entrance, and then they just start fighting. And Rock gets dumped out of the ring early. Then they fight through the crowd, and they're really in the crowd. Like the crowd is surrounding them. They can't do shit. It's a good thing like no one had a knife or something. Like fuck you, Rock. Austin gets back, body drops onto the steel support holding the lights, and it fucks his knee up. He elbow drops the Rock through the announce table, and then both men spit water on each other. And Rock hits a rock bottom for 2, and he brings a chair into the ring that Austin uses to take out the ref. And then Rock finally gets the chair and starts working on Austin. Austin takes a chair straight to the head. And Austin kicks out at 2. And then another ref appears. And Rock hits a Samoan drop, and that gets a 2 count. And Rock's pissed off at the new ref, and he rock bottoms him. The Rock is stunned, but there's no ref. And finally, Earl Hebner comes in to make the count, and Rock kicks out of the stunner. Then Vince McMahon comes out, and McMahon distracts Austin long enough so the Rock can hit him hit him in the dick. And then Hebner starts yelling at McMahon, so McMahon takes out the third referee. Rock and McMahon are kicking Austin's ass. Then Mankind comes crawling back from the hospital. Mankind decks McMahon. Rock hits in Mankind's face, and then Austin hits Rock with the schoolboy. And that's only a 2, thank God. I thought for sure that was the finish. Like, oh, Rock and Austin, the first one was a schoolboy.
Mm-hmm.
Rock hits another rock bottom. And he goes for a people's elbow. He misses the people's elbow. Austin goes for a stunner. Rock catches Austin's stunner kick leg, spins him around, calls him a motherfucker, and goes for another rock bottom. Austin reverses it, hits a stunner, 1, 2, 3. McMahon's crying. Austin celebrates in front of the fans with his title. And then the beer is part of his gimmick now because he drank a lot of it. And then he asked Hebner to drink beer with him, who got really into it. And then McMahon starts screaming at Austin when he leaves. And then McMahon tells him that Austin's title is still McMahon's and that Austin doesn't deserve it. Austin slugs McMahon and stuns him. And then he pours beer on him. And that was WrestleMania 15.
Yeah, it was pretty good from at the end there. The the main event, seeing Austin, The Rock selling those stunners. If you notice, he like flopped up on the rope each time.
His selling in general was pretty over the top. It's pretty good stuff. Did you notice the parallels between this match and WrestleMania 40?
I did. I was gonna say that there's a lot, and maybe it's just because we just watched it, but I noticed
That could be too.
a lot of similarities. Or, since it was The Rock, maybe he said, "Hey, let's pull from this." Since he was involved, not like in the match.
Right.
But yeah, it was pretty similar. I forgot what I was gonna say. But I was gonna draw that kind of thing. Oh yeah, and then how Austin was celebrating so long at the end. To Cody celebrating so long at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did see the parallels there, but it could also be because we just watched WrestleMania.
I think, well, I'm sure that has something to do with it, but just the fighting in the crowd and just the way The Rock did how he did shit,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe he does it on every match and we just haven't noticed.
Well, we're about to find out because I believe this is one of his. We're about to go on a run on Rock main events.
Yeah.
And Austin main events too.
Well, Steve Austin's feud with the corporation continued. Steve Austin demanded the return of his customized smoking skull belt that was taken from him after losing his title at Breakdown. And that was in 98. And the Ministry of Darkness continued to threaten Mr. McMahon's family, so he was forced to comply with Austin and give him his stupid belt. And he had Shane deliver it to him. Shane, however, refused, took matters into his own hands, and gave it to The Rock instead. This culminated in a rematch between Austin and The Rock at Backlash. That was 99. And this was when McMahon served as the special guest referee. Austin ended up beating The Rock to get his smoke and skull belt back. And then the Ministry of Darkness continued their war with the corporation. And the Undertaker went after Stephanie. And he continued to make sacrifices, including Ryan Shamrock, leading to a feud between Undertaker and Ken Shamrock. I'm sure that was interesting. Yeah, Undertaker ended up beating him. That was at Backlash in your house. And then when the Undertaker did successfully find Stephanie, Shamrock, in his quest to get revenge on the Undertaker, continued to beat down and interrogate members of the Ministry of Darkness for McMahon's whereabouts. And after Christian told Shamrock McMahon's whereabouts, Undertaker punished Christian by whipping him, and he was going to crucify him. Then Edge and Gangrel turned on the Ministry, so the Brood left. And then they got revenge by defeating the Brood in a 6-man tag match, because that's what you do in wrestling.
Of course.
And Bart Gunn was never the same. He claimed that the match was was fixed, and he pissed everybody off, and he wasn't on TV for a while. And Nicole Bass continued to do things with Sable. And after Triple H washed his hands of Degeneration X and joined Chyna and the corporation, Xbox teamed up with Kane to form their tag team, and they captured the titles from Owen and Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
And our next event is Fall Brawl, I believe it's 7 for WCW.
You were in the 97 era?
Yep. And it took place in the Cow Palace in San Francisco, California. The main event is Roddy Piper versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And this time, it's for the fucking title. So we know Hollywood Hogan's probably winning.
Yeah.
Some other matches to look forward to is Master 6 versus Dean Malenko for the Cruiserweight title. We have Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Prince Iaukea for the TV title. And Chris Jericho faces Eddie Guerrero for the U.S. title. Kevin Sullivan faces Chris Benoit in a San Francisco death match.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Yep, that's why I wrote it down. And Lex Luger and the Giant face the Outsiders for the Tag Team Championships.
Pretty decent lineup.
Yes, yes, yes.
And that is our retro review. And story-wise, there's really only one thing we have to talk about. And that is they did it. They being AEW. They released the footage of what happened between CM Punk and Jack Perry at All In. Did you watch the footage?
I did. It was pretty underwhelming. I was expecting, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I was expecting.
More.
Yeah. Like, I was expecting something other than them just showing a video of everything that CM Punk said. Like, I thought that maybe there was something more to it. Maybe Punk hit Perry in the back of the head with a glass vase before they got into a conference. I don't know. Anything?
Yeah. I guess the fear for your life part is what made you think or made people think that there was going to be more. But like, really, what were you afraid of? And I don't want to say like, I don't want to tell someone what afraid of their life they should be. Like,
I will if somebody just has a fight, who, by the way, told you to fucking take care of it and your bitch ass didn't, and that happens, and then you get yelled at by that person, that's not afraid for your life. You're not afraid for your life. You're being incompetent, and you're getting publicly called out for it, which should happen. That was all preventable.
we got yelled at though. Like,
Oh, you got yelled at?
yeah,
Man, that's got to be terrible. I'm sure he was afraid for his life.
I understand you can't. I don't know. I can't judge.
He yelled at him and he walked away. He didn't even cross the threshold. He stuck his head in that little area and then left. There was nothing threatening about it. He probably just raised his voice and told me he's a fucking dumbass.
Yeah. So
and he said he quit and he walked away. There's nothing to be scared of.
That could have what made him afraid of his life, afraid for his life.
That he quit and walked away?
No, that he yelled at him.
Well, then he's a pussy.
Well, yeah, if we hold him at face value, then, like, come on.
We saw the tape.
A little bit.
We saw the tape. He pushed Perry. He got him in the face lock. They got separated. He turned around. He went in that little nook area. He didn't go all the way in. He just kind of poked his head in, said some shit, and then walked away. Walked away doing the tough guy walk. You know, where you have the arms out?
Yeah.
Kind of. That's my favorite part. That's the most revealing thing is Punk does the tough guy walk when he gets angry.
Yeah. I don't know. It did seem like there wasn't a lot to it,
Because
but
there
I guess.
wasn't.
And it's like you fired your biggest draw over that.
Yep.
He who owns a NFL team or partial owner, whatever it is, he's around an NFL team. Like you
Allegedly.
telling me that more doesn't happen in training camp, OTAs, like
Oh, they got helmets on. You know they're swinging with full fist.
yeah, they fight in the NFL, so he should be used to it. Like,
That's the
um,
thing. Tony's not. He's part of the social media thing with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't think
oh,
he's.
it's not like in the locker room.
I wouldn't. If he is, he's not. He's not an athlete.
Well, I would just think, at least being
He's
around
in
him
the
says
locker
that
room
he
the
would.
same way the owners in the locker room, like, oh, you big sweaty fellas, sure did look good making me more money out there.
Well, that's a hard comparison for me because I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Our problem is our owner's a little bit too involved. Not a little bit. He's way too involved.
Yeah, but how? But if you think about it from that perspective, like how much experience do you think Jerry has of like the players' perspective?
Yeah, probably not. But
So that's kind of where Tony is. I know he did have a public argument with one of his star players, and he ended up getting traded. So
yeah, that Cam Cam Cambry or something like that. Marcus Camby.
and the soccer team called him a joke.
So
Apparently, he has
yeah.
no respect in the soccer team that they own.
So not a good run for Mr. Tony Khan. And releasing that video, would you say that it's probably not the best decision to do that? By the
No,
way,
because
we're not playing any footage in this video. Fair
no,
right.
because
Fair right or whatever
fair
it
use.
is. Fair use, there it is. Because they're coming after anybody who's even like
Well,
playing
fair
a little
use
bit
would
of
give
it.
us fair use gives us the ability to play the video.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, YouTube allows people to negate that by abusing the copyright system that they have.
There you go.
And unfortunately, AEW is so pussified that they don't want people sharing the video that they released themselves because they know that they look like pussies.
They do. But like I said with The Rock, you got the attention. Let's see what you do with it. So they bumped a rating. I think they had like 8 something in the rating.
Okay.
So
They
was there
had
any
the
story already? No, but
attention with the all in and the initial pay-per-views that they had, and they responded to that by letting Cody go. They had the attention when they signed Paige, who was supposed to be like this big awesome star, and she just got sucked into the collective. Adam Page, or not Adam Page. Well, Adam Page was supposed to be something too, but he's hurt. I mean, you can go on the list. They've had the attention. Every time they get the attention, every time they get the upper hand, they don't know what to do with it.
yep, they get the attention and then fumble the bag. But
And it's only one person's fault.
All road leads to the con. One con is making their company the best it can be, and the other con is seemingly dragging it to hell. I'll let you decide which one is which. But just look at the product and you'll be able to tell. But I think on that note, if you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. And if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. On your way out, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on all the social medias. Shout out to the audio gang. And is there anything else?
Just have a good night. Have
And
a
until
good night.
what the hell is that? We're gonna
I was
touch
doing
tips
Power
again.
Rangers. Oh, we touched it. Oh, God damn it.
Touch that tip.
Let me touch it. Get it. Come on now.
Have a good night, everybody. Top guys out.